in the last game of the season, and that game was just a week ago. The Bulldogs season has been a dream for Bruce Eby and his staff as they have won all of their ball games. They knew they'd have a good team coming into the season, but even Bruce Eby told us earlier this week he didn't have any idea that his Bulldogs would go 9-0. They beat Corning in a real tough ball game by 1 touchdown, and they clobbered Willows by a score of 28-0. With us on the broadcast tonight is Jack Falk. He was the coach of that Gridley team back in 1956 that went 8-1 and won the championship. And Jack knows most of these kids that are playing on the ball club and knows just about everybody in town. He'll be offering some color comments for us tonight. We'll be back and talk to Jack and have more pregame color on tonight's broadcast. But right now, let's pause for 2 commercial words.
Attention new car buyers. Tucker Chevrolet in Gridley wants to give you a Christmas present early this year. Tucker Chevrolet is offering a $200 cash bonus to anyone who buys a 1976 or 77 Chevette or Vega from stock. Or you can order one before December 10th. The $200 cash bonus is over and above the purchase price agreed to and may be used as a down payment or may be sent to you as soon as the deal goes through. Remember, Tucker Chevrolet of Gridley has a $200 cash bonus waiting for you right now. Come in and make a great deal on a 76 or 77 Chevette or Vega. Tucker Chevrolet Buick on Highway 99 in Gridley.
It seems that small towns produce tough football teams as well as aggressive Honda dealers. Gridley Growers remains the established Honda supermarket for all of Northern California. Literally thousands of people have driven to Gridley Growers to buy a Honda. Find out for yourself why Gridley Growers is where it's at. The large staff at Gridley Growers couldn't be more proud of the Gridley High School Bulldogs and their head coach, Bruce Eby. You can't travel anywhere to find more exciting football. Gridley's got it all together in 1976.
Back here at Gridley High School, the football field located just north of the, actually northeast of the buildings that make Gridley High School. And we've got, as we mentioned earlier, a great crowd on hand. Still a few seats available across the way for the Pleasant Valley fans, but the crowd is still coming in. And I don't think there'll be any room but standing room for this ball game by the time everybody gets here. The Gridley band coming marching in, and the Bulldogs have now come onto the field. They do most of their warm-ups inside, getting ready, getting warmed up, loosening up. Then they come out on the field for just a couple of minutes before the start of the ball game. We'd like to bring in Jack Falk right now. He helped us with some Butte games this year, and also a couple of years back did some color for us, and it's great to have him here. Jack, this must be a pretty big night for you to see the Bulldogs going for the championship after all these years.
Jim, it's a real great night. We're 9-0, and we're real proud of it. Our team this year is just something else. It has the whole community excited. We're proud of them. They're great kids. As any coach will tell you, if you've heard the old cliches about winning teams, they love the coach, the kids are all great, and everything else. And I really believe this. We have a great group of kids. We're 9-0. Several years ago, Jim, I did a study on winning football in the state of California, and I found out, I checked the records of every school in the state of California, high school football, and less than 1% of the high school teams in the state of California are undefeated. Less than 3% of the teams in the high school teams in California, less than 3%. Are 8-1 or 9-1. So we feel that we have really accomplished something. Bruce Eby is a fine coach, and I know it's, you hear these people say this all the time. We have great kids. The one thing about our team this year is that our kids they're intelligent kids. There are no flaky kids. We've had injuries. We've had kids that fill in. In most schools our size, especially 6, 7, 8, 900, you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 good players. And this generally runs true. On our team this year, we've had kids, outstanding players. Bill Shore, our outstanding linebacker, was hurt for 2 games. A kid named Herringer came in and filled in for him at linebacker. Did a great job. He injured his knee. Another kid named Rich Cardenas filled in for him. there was no difference. We have depth. We have pride. Everything is going well. We're real proud of this team. They're a fine team, and I'm just really glad that I'm here to watch them play, because in years past, you know, we've been down, and when we've been down, I'm sorry to say I was the coach. But we've come along. Bruce Ebby has turned things around. The kids have pride, and you hear so much about academics these days, and I'm all for that. Kids should know what they're doing. But I know this football team has had a real effect on our school. The student body is taking pride. The cheerleaders, the teachers, everyone. I've seen people here at our last few games that haven't been to a football game in years. And it does a community like ours good. We're proud of these kids. I hope they win tonight. I'm sure they will. I'll predict the score, 27-6, Gridley.
Okay, Jack. The Pleasant Valley Vikings, of course, have an excellent ball club, too. They had the championship undefeated JV team last year. This year, they were picked by most of the observers around the area to win the Eastern Athletic League. Many people thought they would do better than that. They had a rough preseason, had trouble getting it together, but as we mentioned earlier, once the Vikings got going and got into that league, they really did a great job playing against some tough teams like Paradise, and they beat Oroville, they beat the Lassen Grizzlies, and also defeated Las Plumas. So they've had a good year. Overall, they started off by beating Orland. They got beat by Orland 18-7, then got beat by Anderson 13-6, got shut out by Central Valley 20-0. They got beat by Willows 20-14, but then they turned around and beat Shasta 14-6. Gridley, on the other hand, started off edging Delta by a score of 15-14. They shut out Quincy 28-0, beat Live Oak 27-6. They defeated Las Plumas 41-0, beat Corning 14-7, beat Willows 28-0, beat Wheatland 50-6, and beat San Lorenzo 40-14, and then beat Orland last week 35-14. Pleasant Valley rounding out their games. As we mentioned, they lost to Willows 20-14, then came back to beat Shasta. That was the first. They didn't win a game till the fifth game of the year, and then they won 4 in a row, beating Las Plumas, Lassen, Paradise, and Oroville before getting upset by Chico the final game of the season. I think we're going to have a real great ball game tonight as the Bulldogs go against the Pleasant Valley Vikings, the West Side League against the Eastern Athletic League. Everybody in the area is always curious to see which league is the stronger, and we may find out tonight because we've got the best teams from both leagues playing in this game. The winner of this game will go on to play at Chico State next Wednesday night against the winner of the game that's being played up in Reading tonight, the game between the Enterprise Hornets and the Corning Cardinals. And one team will come out of that game a winner, one team will come out of this game a winner. Those two teams will meet for the North Section Championship on next Wednesday night, the 24th, Thanksgiving Eve. KORV's broadcast plans for the coming week call for us to be doing that game live from Chico on Wednesday night, and then we'll also tape it and play it back for you on Thanksgiving morning. We figured there'd be quite a few kids playing in the game who'd like to hear it played back, whether it be in Pleasant Valley or Gridley, and so we're going to play it back for the fans on Thanksgiving morning at 9 o'clock. So it's a real exciting night for KORV because it's the first time we've had a chance to do a Gridley football game at home, and we hope it's not the last. We've got some time here before the opening kickoff. Gridley completing their warm-ups to our right side. Pleasant Valley's gone back to the locker room, and we'll be back with more here from Gridley after we pause for these two commercial words.
Did you know the area's most complete wine cellar is located in Gridley at the Old Roma Liquor Store? Pick up your wine for Thanksgiving now. The Old Roma carries more brands than anyone in the area. Winty Brothers, Charles Krug, Martini, Baringo, Christian Brothers, Sebastiani, Weibel, Paul Masson, and more. The Old Roma Liquor Store is the friendly place to get stocked up for the holidays. Stop by soon. The Old Roma Liquor Store on Kentucky Street, right across from the City Plaza, Gridley.
The Western Auto Store in Gridley announces their grand opening. 10 big days of celebration with prizes and gifts and a drawing for a pillowback reclining chair. Cyril and Valerie Hill are the new owners at Western Auto in Gridley, and they'd like to meet you during the grand opening. Western Auto carries everything, from toys and appliances to auto supplies and sporting goods. Don't forget, you can make Christmas layaways until December 15th. Stop by today and say hi. It's a big grand opening celebration at Gridley's Western Auto Store, 999 Hazel Street, downtown Gridley.
We're back here at Gridley High School, just a few minutes away from the opening kickoff, and we mentioned earlier that Jack Falk was the coach of the Gridley Bulldogs for a number of years and was the coach back in 1956 when the Bulldogs went to that 8-1 season. And last night we were at the Las Plumas High Banquet, and we ran into Wes Martin, the principal of Las Plumas, and Wes was telling us he was Jack's assistant back in 1956, and he told us a story about practice at the beginning of the year. It was practicing at night, and one kid didn't show up for practice, he said, Jack, and he said that you said, the kid said he was sick, and you said there's no way you can be sick in the middle of the summer, and you really gave it to him, and the next night, who was home in bed sick? The head coach. And Wes Martin had to handle the practice. But that was an interesting year. You guys went 8-1, and I guess you didn't lose till the last game of the year.
I think possibly that was the best thing that ever happened to us the night I missed practice. Wes Martin took over. I had an emergency appendectomy, but when Wes took over, he got the kids all fired up, and, the assistant coach is always, they're the ones that know what's going on. And Wes took over, and we won the league that year, and I attribute everything we did that year to Wes Martin, principal of...
Well, I heard the way it went was you guys were 8-0, and you had to play Anderson the last game of the season. Anderson hadn't won a game all year, and you guys had 5 or 6 kids out with the flu, and they beat you. That was the only game they won all year.
As a news analyst, Jim Ragland, once again, you are wrong. We played Anderson the 4th game of the season. We were both undefeated at the time. I will say our kids had the flu. I only had 12 players on the bench. You know, if you're a coach and your team's playing a game and you got one substitute on the sideline, it can get kind of hectic, you see. But Anderson beat us. They were 3-0. We were 3-0 when they came in the game. They beat us 12-0, and they never won another game after that, and we never lost one. So, I think that this coaching bit, get back, Wes Martin became an administrator, and administrators know everything. And it was entirely his coaching that won that thing.
Okay, well, that's what I get. See, I've been down here in Gridley quite a bit the last week or so, getting this broadcast set up, and I got a chance to talk to a few of the players off that team, and the way they tell it, they went all the way through the season and lost the last game, but I guess the coach never forgets. Who were some of those kids that played on that team?
Well, we had old Milt Brown. He now runs Brown & Company clothing store down at Gridley. Lowell King of King's Markets. Ron Sanford, who runs Gridley Growers. Yes, and Tom Winterstein. I don't know how he ever got mixed up with McConnell Ford, but they're one of our better sponsors. They talk a lot, but they don't come through with very much money when we need it. But Tom Winterstein's here in the booth tonight, and he's a real fan. And but all these people, they for years they've been behind the Bulldogs, and this year is really great. You talked about my team in '56. That's 190 years ago. But we're not here tonight to talk about that. We're here to talk about the undefeated Gridley Bulldogs. Now, that is really something else. Now, we're so proud of them that we just can hardly talk about it. And after the game tonight, down at the Country Kitchen, located just south of Gridley, we're having a big party honoring the coaches. And as old as I am, and as bad a coach as I am, I'm going to go down there tonight, and in front of all those people, I'm going to lead yells. I'm going to lead yells. You hear that?
Okay. That sounds exciting. We'll be back with more pregame color here tonight from Gridley as we get ready for the Gridley-Pleasant Valley game right after we pause for these words.
This is KORV in Oroville.
Get stocked up for Thanksgiving now at the King Markets in Gridley and Live Oak. Great values like Norbest Tom turkeys, 49 a pound. Hens are 53 a pound. Canned pumpkin in the 29-ounce size, just 39 cents. Cranberry sauce, 16-ounce cans are 3 for $1. Large, fancy, crisp celery, 29 cents a bunch. Bonnie Hubbard cake mix in the 19-ounce box, just 39 cents. Crisco shortening in the 3-pound can for $1.49, and C&H sugar in the 5-pound bag for 95 cents. Shop for Thanksgiving now at King Markets in East Gridley, downtown Gridley, and Live Oak. Your First in the West Ford dealer, Ed McConnell Ford in Gridley, is offering you a chance to win 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, plus $600 in cash, and a chance at a 1977 Ford Pinto runabout. It's called the Ford Dealer's NFL game, and all licensed drivers are eligible. There's no obligation. Everybody who enters wins a Super Bowl poster or NFL keychain. Enter today at Ed McConnell Ford in Great Gridley. While you're there, check out all the great new and used cars and trucks. Ed McConnell Ford, your First in the West Ford dealer.
Back here at Gridley, and you've been hearing some of the commercial announcements from the sponsors who have come with us on this ball game and are making the whole thing possible. And we'd quickly like to just take a minute here and really extend a word of thanks to the sponsors, because they're the ones that are making this broadcast possible. We've got Tucker Chevrolet Buick, located on Highway 99. Also Brown & Company Clothing, downtown. We've got Western Auto Store, located also downtown, and they're on Hazel Street. Gridley Growers, just up the street next to the railroad tracks where they sell all those Hondas. The Old Roma Liquor Store, located on Kentucky Street, right across from City Plaza. Spurgeon Home Center, they're also on Kentucky Street. And King Markets in East Gridley, downtown Gridley, and Live Oak. Great group, and they're the ones who are making this broadcast possible tonight. And we just can't say enough. It's a new idea to do this playoff games and also the championship game next Wednesday night, and we'd really like to thank them for making the broadcast possible. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one more there somewhere, and we'll get that for you in just a minute. They're introducing the starting lineups for the Gridley Bulldogs. Bobby Jenkins will be starting at the split end. He's 5'11", 160 pounds. The tackle, Mike Dato, 5'10", 195. On the other side, Jamie Flores, 5'7", 162. The guards, Jamie Torres, we gave him, it's David Flores, 5'9", 170, and Rod Nakamoto, who's 5'5", 140 pounds. The center is Mike McClung. He's 5'11", 185 pounds. A lot of juniors on this ball club. Dato's a junior, McClung's a junior, Torres is a junior. And when you've got 3 starting juniors on that offensive line, you know you're going to be in good shape next year, too. In the backfield, Kurt Forrester. He's 5'9", 150 pounds, a senior. Mike Cassidy, who's 5'9", 159, a senior. And the slot back is Rich Cardenas, who's 5'7", 151 pounds, a junior. The Doug Rudd and Pat King will be switching off at the slot back spot. Rudd is 5'9", 152, and King is 5'6", 156. The quarterback, senior Brad Jensen, a great quarterback. He's 6'3", 180, and is a senior. We'll be ready now for the playing of the national anthem with the Gridley High School Marching Band. Let's listen now as the band plays. The Gridley Bulldogs have won the toss. They'll be receiving to start the ball game. The Bulldogs clad in their home dark blue jerseys with gold pants and dark blue helmets, gold numerals. The Pleasant Valley Vikings in their visiting white uniforms with blue numerals and white helmets. The officials tonight, the referee is Bob West, the umpire is Cody Coleman, the back judge is Stan Kinnear, the field judge is Don Brownfield, and the head linesman is Don Waters. Gridley will be moving from our left to our right here as we open play in the first quarter, and dropping back deep to receive the opening kickoff is Jim Brown. He's a split end, 5'9", 135 pounds, just a sophomore. Also back there for Gridley is Rich Cardenas, who's a reserve halfback, and Pat King, who is one of the alternating slot backs. Kicking off for the Pleasant Valley Vikings is Phil Carver. And we're just about ready to go as the semifinal playoff from Gridley gets underway. Here's the kick. It's a low line drive kick, takes a bounce, and is fumbled around back there, finally picked up in the backfield by Brown. Brown comes to the near sideline, looks for some blocking, cuts upfield, gets to about the 20-yard line, and that's all. That time was a little mix-up as dropping back was Corey Smith, and Smith couldn't hang on to that kickoff. It went through his hands and went back where Brown finally picked it up and got back to the 21-yard line, and that's where we take over 1st and 10. The Gridley Bulldogs moving from our left to our right here in the first quarter. Jenkins comes to the near side. To the far side goes the tight end, Tim Owen. Brad Jensen, the quarterback, with Forrester and Cassidy back there. The handoff goes to Forrester. Forrester gets up to the 24-yard line, and he's got a gain of about 4 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. Just underway here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Cassidy comes out with Cardenas going in. And that's Cardenas, I should say. Jenkins comes out to the near side. To the far side is a split end. And the handoff goes up the middle to Cardenas. Cardenas gets up to the 35-yard line, and he's got a first down. A 7-yard pickup. That's a 12-yard pickup from the 24 up to the 36. We lost 5 there somewhere. Okay, 12-yard gain for Cardenas, and Forrester comes back in now. It's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 35-yard line. The handoff goes to Cassidy. Cassidy gets to the 37-yard line, a pickup of a couple on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Making the tackle was Foley for the Pleasant Valley Vikings. The Vikings are coached by Steve Dodson, Tom Needles, Jim Barrett, and Rick Bedell. The Bulldogs coached by Bruce Eby, Darcy Wingo, Larry Schutz, and Ron Baker. 2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs. The handoff goes to Forrester. He's hit behind the line, but breaks the tackle. They blew the whistle on him. He got away from the man who hit him initially, but by that time the whistle had blown. It's a loss of a yard back to the 36-yard line, and we'll have a 3rd down and 9 play coming up. Cassidy comes back in, replacing Cardenas. We're just underway here with about 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. Cassidy in the backfield now with Forrester, and Bobby Jenkins comes out to the near side as a wide receiver. And back to pass goes Jensen. Throws over the middle, complete to the split end, Pat King. King goes down the far sideline, sheds one tackler, goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line of Pleasant Valley. Coming over the middle, Pat King on a little look-in pattern, and he was wide open. Jensen hit him beautifully with it. It's a 32-yard gain for the Bulldogs. They're going to spot the ball back at the 38-yard line, and so that's going to alter our yardage gain. It's a 25-yard gain. We saw one official marking the ball down by the 30-yard line, but now the other official says that King went out of bounds at the 38. 1st and 10 for Gridley as they move from the Pleasant Valley 38-yard line now. A big 25-yard gain on a 3rd down play. Jensen fumbles the ball. There's a fumble in there, and I think Pleasant Valley's got it. The Vikings recover as Jensen came away from center too quickly. Picking up that football, one of the Vikings. I didn't get his number. Pleasant Valley recovers the fumble as Jensen came away from center too quickly that time and lost the ball. The Vikings take over. Their quarterback is Ron Souza. In the backfield, he's got Dan Wood and Rich Kemp. First down for Pleasant Valley. The handoff goes to the first man through. That's Scott Hunter. I believe I said Kemp was the man back there, but it's Hunter, and he's back there with Dan Wood. Wood is the fullback. Hunter is the halfback. The starting quarterback, Ron Souza, 5'9", 160 pounds, just a junior. To the near side comes a wide receiver, Jim Shin. I formation now. Second down and call it 8 for the Pleasant Valley Vikings. Pitch out. Goes to the near side to Hunter. Hunter follows his blockers, gets across midfield. He's got a first down. Brought down on the play by Doug Rudd. Jenkins also in there for the Bulldogs to stop him. Pick up on the play of 12 yards on the sweep of left end. That time the Vikings got good blocking out in front, and Hunter did a good job to follow him. Pleasant Valley very quick in the backfield. Make it 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Coming out to the near side as a wide receiver is Dave Huggins. He's an all-league defensive back in the EAL. I formation. Souza on the straight-ahead handoff to the fullback who's breaking tackles, gets across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Good run that time by Big Dan Wood, 5'11", 193 pounds, as he broke a couple of tackles and got down to the Gridley 38-yard line. A 9-yard gain in the play. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Vikings. Gridley moving the ball on their first possession. They fumbled as Jensen missed the snap from center, and the Vikings have come right back to drive into Gridley territory. 2nd down and 1. Souza with an I formation. The straightaway handoff goes to Hunter. He's hit behind the line and a fumble on the play. Who's got it? I believe the Vikings got it back. Falling on that loose ball down there for Pleasant Valley was the center, Britt Lobdo, 5'10", 170, a senior, and he was right there to pick up that loose football. A break for the Vikings as they hold on to it. They didn't gain any yardage. It'll be 3rd and 1. Big ball game as the winner goes to the North Section Championship game. On the far side, Dave Huggins, the wide receiver. I formation with Wood and Hunter. The handoff goes to Wood. He's got the first down, pounding down to about the 36-yard line. Wood was an all-league performer for Pleasant Valley at fullback. He joined the Tony Vicinoni from Paradise and Tim Thayer from Chico as the all-league offensive backfield in the EAL. First and 10 for Pleasant Valley. I formation once again with Wood and Hunter. Souza, the quarterback. And now Gridley almost jumps offside. Somebody jumps offside because the flags fly. Who's it going to be against? I believe it's against the Bulldogs. They're calling encroachment. One referee is. And now they come in and talk it over, and it is going to be 5 yards against the Bulldogs for offside. So a key penalty there, as it'll be 1st and 5 now for the Vikings from the Gridley 30-yard line. Both teams hitting really hard tonight as they're up for this ball game. It's make it 1st and 5. Souza rolls out on a bootleg play, tries to get away from pressure, heads for the sideline, is knocked out of bounds on the far side at the 32-yard line. Getting over there to make the stop for the Bulldogs was the Joe, how do you say that? Thurio. Joe Thurio looked like got over there and knocked him out of bounds. Bill Shore was also in on it. Okay. Loss of a yard in the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now. That 5-yard penalty really kills you on 1st down. The handoff goes to Wood. Wood is hit, dropped at the 30-yard line. Good tackle as Dave Butler came up to make the stop, along with help out there from Pat King. It looked like Butler who got him low, and King took him high, and they dropped him after a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and a long 5 now as the ball's just outside the 30-yard line. 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. The Gridley Bulldogs against the Pleasant Valley Vikings. Huggins goes out to the far side. They've got Hunter and Wood in the backfield. I formation again. Back to pass goes Souza. Souza getting some pressure, throwing out here, complete on a nice catch by the tight end coming on a sideline pattern. The catch made by Darrell Stevens 6'1", 165. Boy, that was a well-thrown ball by Souza. And Stevens was heading to the sideline and had to make a leaping catch before he was brought down. A 7-yard gain and a first down for the Pleasant Valley Vikings as they've got the ball at the Gridley 24-yard line. Jenkins is the deep safety with Butler on the near side. Over on the far side, they've got Cardenas. First and 10, Souza. And a couple of times Gridley players jump, and I don't know if that's going to be against the Bulldogs again. It looks like it, as the Bulldogs are a little eager up on the front defensive line, and they've jumped twice now on this possession, both times on first down. That creates an entirely different picture for Pleasant Valley now with 1st and 5 instead of that 1st and 10. They're down in the 4-down zone, but it sure makes it a lot easier when it's 1st and 5. To the far side now goes Jim Shin. He's in there replacing Huggins. Split backs now. The handoff goes to Wood. Wood follows a block, gets down to the 17-yard line, a pickup of about 3 yards on the play. He was brought down by Dave Butler. Butler making some tackles over there on that cornerback spot. That's the toughest play for a cornerback, they say, having to come up there and make that stop when the fullback's trying to sweep the end. And Butler's done it a couple of times tonight. We walked the field before the ball game. It's in great shape. There shouldn't be any problem with the footing at all. Second down and about 2 yards to go for a first down. Back now, it's a handoff to Hunter. He's got a big hole on the right side, and Hunter makes it down to the 15, maybe to the 10-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to be close to the 10, and they've got a first down as it's a 6-yard pickup. So the Pleasant Valley Vikings knocking on the door as they've got a first down. I believe it's 1st and goal. It is 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for Pleasant Valley. They cannot make a first down. The Vikings recovering that fumble by Gridley and coming right down the field. They're in scoring position now. Split backs behind Souza. Again, Gridley almost jumps offside. The handoff goes to Hunter. Hunter trying to sweep the right end, and he's knocked down at the 9-yard line. Brought down over there on the far side by Owen and Shore. It's a gain on the play of about a yard, and apparently there were no flags. We saw Gridley jumping, but no flags were called. Pat King comes out of the ball game for Gridley now. And we've got problems with the clock now as it stopped, and they're calling the referee's attention. And now he's coming over to talk to the timekeeper. Now it's starting to work again. Let's hope they can get it going here. They've got, now it appears to be running all right. So they've started the clock, and let's hope we don't have problems with that later on. That could be a real tough one to figure out if we have problems with the clock. Of course, they can keep the time up here in the booth, but it makes it a lot tougher for the fans when and the teams, too, and they don't know how much time's left. Okay, here we go on 2nd down and 9, and quarterback draw by Souza as he just went straight up the middle, catching Gridley by surprise. He got down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line, and now it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line for Pleasant Valley. Shin comes into the ball game. Shin comes in. He replaces Huggins. We've got 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Souza, the quarterback, with Wood and Hunter in the backfield. The handoff goes to Wood. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. They may have given him a yard on the play, but a good defensive charge in there. It looked like the big linebacker, Bill Shore, who did it once again. He's only 5'7", 168, but he does a great job in there at the middle linebacker. And now Shore comes over to the sideline to talk it over with the coach. That looks like Darcy Wingo out there talking to him. And the Vikings have called a timeout here. With timeout on the field, let's pause for this commercial word.
Easy to shop, easy to save.
Brown & Company in Gridley. They're proud to be sponsoring tonight's North Section semifinal playoff. They invite you to stop by soon and check out their store. They have the area's largest selection of men's, women's, and kids' clothes by Lee. Pants, jackets, outfits in Western and casual wear. Brown & Company, conveniently located downtown in Gridley at 946 Hazel Street. Brown & Company says, good luck, Bulldogs.
We're back here at Gridley High School. Jim Ragland and Jack Falk with us as it'll be 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line. Pleasant Valley had a 1st and goal from the 10, and now they're at 4th and goal, and they're going for it. They're not going to try a field goal. They've got a good field goal kicker in Carver, but they're going to go for the touchdown right here. Wood and Hunter in the backfield behind Souza. Huggins goes out to the near side. It's 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, and Gridley jumps offside. That really won't hurt them that much. They'll get a half the distance to the goal line, but it'll still be 4th down. They cannot make a 1st down. That's 3 times that Gridley's jumped offside, and Jack, they want to get off quickly to stop that play, but you can't give up those penalties like that.
Well, Jim, Pleasant Valley has a little motion before they go down to the 3-point stance. I watched practice all week. Coach Ebby's been working on it. These kids know about it, but they're a little uptight, and here goes the next play.
4th and goal from the now 1.5-yard line. Souza, the quarterback, and the handoff goes to Wood. He's hit. He's in for the touchdown. He got hit behind the line, but he spun off the tackle and made it in for the score. Dan Wood, the fullback, 5'11", 193, scores on a 1-yard run to give the Vikings the touchdown, and now they'll go for the extra point with Phil Carver attempting the point out of the hold of Joe Silva. The Bulldogs giving up a score there as Pleasant Valley drove it right down the field. The kick is up, and it's good, and the scoreboard shows Pleasant Valley 7, Gridley nothing, with 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of play. We'll be back with a kickoff right after this word.
The folks at Spurgeon Home Center and Building Supply in Gridley say, go Bulldogs, as Grizzly's first undefeated team since 1940 goes for the section championship. Spurgeon Home Center is sponsoring the live broadcast of tonight's game, and they'd like to remind you of the fantastic selection of home improvement supplies and tools they carry. Workbenches, doghouses, patio benches, barbecue tables, screen doors, birdhouses, roofing adhesives, paint, you name it, and the Spurgeon Home Center has it for your home. Spurgeon Home Center, 801 Washington Street. Call 846-2222. Now back to championship high school football.
Thank you, Chris. It's 7-0 Pleasant Valley. They scored on a 61-yard drive in 15 plays. Here's the kickoff. It's high and deep this time, taken by Jim Brown. He goes for the far side. Needs some blocking over there. Is looking for that lane down the sideline. Sheds one tackler, but then is knocked out of bounds. He got back to about the 20-yard line. That's exactly where Gridley took over on their first possession. They managed to get down to the 35-yard line of Pleasant Valley, but fumbled at that point. It was there that Pleasant Valley took over the football and went 61 yards in 15 plays for the score, with Wood taking it over from the 1-yard line. The kick was good, and it's 7-0 Pleasant Valley. The Bulldogs with Forrester and Cassidy in the backfield behind Bobby. That's Brad Jensen. Jensen flips it back to Cassidy on the sweep. He's looking for running room, cuts up, gets to the 25, out of bounds at the 27-yard line, a gain of about 7 yards. The sweep that time, as leading the play, was Bill Shore on the offensive line. Also out there were Rodney Nakamoto and David Flores leading that sweep, with the ball carrier Cassidy knocked out at the 27-yard line. A pickup of, they give him only 6 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 4. Jensen hands off to Forrester, who's really creamed back there, back at the 24-yard line. Making the tackle for Pleasant Valley is Phil Carver. Carver makes the stop, and it's going to be 3rd down now. Coming into the ball game is Pat King. He's 5'6", 156 pounds. He alternates at that slot back spot and also plays on defense for the Bulldogs. Jenkins comes out to the near side. Jensen, the big 6'3" quarterback, with 3rd and 6. Back to pass he goes, looks, throws it out here, wide open, and missing the football. Who was wide open was Tim Owen. He was right there. The defensive back, I believe it was Shin, really gambled on the play. He went for the ball and missed it. And the man down there open was Owen, but he just couldn't catch the ball. It went just slightly over his fingertips, and it's incomplete. That might have been a touchdown if he caught it, because he didn't have anybody near him after the defensive back gambled on the interception. Punting is Owen, the man who just had an opportunity but missed that ball. He kicks a high floater, and it's taken back there by Souza. Souza gets by one tackler, goes for the sideline, is hit and dropped at the 50-yard line. Making the tackle for Gridley was Scott Clapp. 39-yard punt for Owen, as the Bulldogs had a chance right there, but Owen couldn't hold the pass, and it's first and down 10 for Pleasant Valley at midfield. Well, the Bulldog defense will have to toughen up right here and hope that the offense could hold on a little longer, give the defense a chance to regroup a little bit. But Pleasant Valley's got the ball back, first and 10 at the 50-yard line. Souza with a handoff to Hunter. He gets by one man and is dragged down as he gets to the 49-yard line. He was missed back there by Clapp, who had a shot at him in the backfield. And as he came to the left side, he was finally caught and brought down. A gain of a yard in the play. It will be 2nd and 9. Coming out of the ball game for Gridley is Butler. He's replaced in there by Corey Smith. Smith, 5'6", 145 pounds. Hunter and Wood in the backfield with Shin to the near side as a wide receiver, split backs, and Souza's the quarterback. Souza quickly wants the quick one. It's intercepted and dropped. Rudd had it in his arms, but he couldn't hold on as they looked for the quick pass, and shaken up down there is Darrell Stevens, the tight end who was the intended receiver. He made a great catch earlier on the first possession, but this time he couldn't hold it, and Doug Rudd almost picked it off. Rudd is just a junior, 5'9", 152 pounds. There's an injury timeout on the field, and while they attend to the injured man, let's pause for this commercial word.
The Western Auto Store in Gridley announces their grand opening. 10 big days of celebration with prizes and gifts and a drawing for a pillowback reclining chair. Cyril and Valerie Hill are the new owners at Western Auto in Gridley, and they'd like to meet you during the grand opening. Western Auto carries everything, from toys and appliances to auto supplies and sporting goods. Don't forget, you can make Christmas layaways until December 15th. Stop by today and say hi. It's a big grand opening celebration at Gridley's Western Auto Store, 999 Hazel Street, downtown Gridley.
It's 8 o'clock. This is KORV in Oroville.
3rd down and about 9 for Pleasant Valley. The pitch out goes to Hunter. They're after him. They've got him. He's back, nailed behind the line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line of Pleasant Valley. They tried that sweep of the right end again, but it was unsuccessful as the defense was right on that one, Jack.
Oh, they're starting to toughen up now. Gridley was a little nervous, as was Pleasant Valley. And both these teams feeling each other out. I think it's going to be a great ball game, Jim. I really do. Pleasant Valley is up for it, and so is Gridley, and here we go again.
It'll be a punting situation with about 55 seconds, it looks like, remaining in the first quarter. And 55 seconds remaining. And the officials couldn't figure out the clock either. It's the old-style clock with the hands on it instead of an electronic digital clock like you see most places. They had a clock like this in, I forget where it was. I think it was at City College of San Francisco doing a game. We never did figure out what time it was. Here's the punt. It's a high one taken by the man on a fair catch, Rich Cardenas, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Gridley at the 25-yard line, and this is the best field position Gridley's had all night, as they got the ball on the opening kickoff at the 20, and then got it on the second kickoff also at the 20, so they're better than that by about 5 yards as they start this time. 1st and 10, the ball at the 25. Jenkins, who hasn't caught one yet, is out to the near side. Forrester and Cassidy are the running backs. The handoff goes to Cassidy. He's upended at the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard, as he was brought down in the play by Tim Foley. That Pleasant Valley defense really doing a great job so far. They gave up one long gainer on a pass play to Gridley, and other than that, they've been really tough. They've given up some yardage, but have not given up a score yet. 7-0 Pleasant Valley in the first quarter, and the time is winding down. We may not get this play off here before the quarter ends. Jensen comes to the ball, and apparently they will get it off. Back to pass he goes. He looks for the quick one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Pleasant Valley's linebacker, Mike Gubbles, and the gun sounds ending the first quarter. Pleasant Valley in a great spot as they have it at the Gridley 20, but there's a penalty flag down in the play. We'll be back to tell you what it's all about when we come back for the second quarter after this message.
Did you know the area's most complete wine cellar is located in Gridley at the Old Roma Liquor Store? Pick up your wine for Thanksgiving now. The Old Roma carries more brands than anyone in the area. Winty Brothers, Charles Krug, Martini, Baringo, Christian Brothers, Sebastiani, Weibel, Paul Masson, and more. The Old Roma Liquor Store is the friendly place to get stocked up for the holidays. Stop by soon. The Old Roma Liquor Store on Kentucky Street, right across from the City Plaza, Gridley.
We're here at Gridley High School. There's a clipping penalty against Pleasant Valley on the return of the interception. And so now the first quarter has ended, and I think the officials are just realizing that as they're trying to reset the clock. And the first quarter is over, so they're going to have to move the football. That's a big penalty on Pleasant Valley, and it's a break for Gridley. They gave up the interception, but Jack, Pleasant Valley was going to have the ball down at the 20-yard line. Now it's going to be back at the 48.
Well, that's a real break for Gridley. Pleasant Valley is really charged up for this thing, and Gridley's going to have to get their heads together. But I've seen Bruce Eby behind before. The guy's a genius in high school football, and I'm sure this is going to be one whale of a football game because Steve Dodson at Pleasant Valley is a real fine coach. He's retiring. The kids want to win for him. And here we go again.
Beginning of the second quarter, Pleasant Valley has it 1st and 10 at the Gridley 48. Souza with Wood and Hunter in the backfield. And we should be just about ready to go now for that second quarter. Pleasant Valley recovering a Gridley fumble and intercepting a Gridley pass in that first quarter. Souza goes right back to pass. He has time. He looks over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Shin, who was wide open at the 25-yard line. Looked like a pass that he might have been able to catch, but it was a little bit high and he couldn't hold it. And that looked like it might go for big yardage had he held on to that one because he was out in front. Made a good move on a pattern right across the middle of the field, and not a bad throw by Souza, who had time to throw it. It's 2nd down and 10 as the Vikings went for all of it on 1st down. I formation once again. Souza takes his time at the line this time, goes back to pass again, getting a rush, throwing over the middle, it's complete, and it's down to the 38-yard line, should be good enough for the 1st down. Grabbed down there by Russ Luke, who's one of the wide receivers. He came down to the 40-yard line and kind of veered across the middle of the field, and he was hit on a good throw by Souza. It is short. Well, let's see. Are they going to bring it out and measure for it? They may have a measurement here. That's what it's going to be as we've got it very close. Looks like they have it from this angle. And they stretch the chains out, and they do have the 1st down just barely. The chain marker coming down on the white stripe at the front of the ball, so they had it just by an inch or two. 1st and 10 for Pleasant Valley. The Vikings are moving the ball and dominating the game at this stage after Gridley got it on the opening kickoff, drove it all the way down to the Pleasant Valley 35, and then fumbled. From that point, it's been all Pleasant Valley. 7-0. The Vikings lead it here. We're just in the opening moments of the second quarter. Souza with a 1st down, split backs behind him. The pitch out goes to Hunter. He's hit behind the line, fights his way back, may have gone back to the line of scrimmage, but he was brought down on the play by Shore once again, Bill Shore. He's one of the captains along with, he is the captain. He's the only captain, I guess. And the captains for the Vikings are Souza and Wood, one a senior, one a junior. It's a real pleasure to be here in Gridley tonight, bringing you this ball game on KORV. Don't forget, we'll be on hand next Wednesday for the North Section Championship. Pleasant Valley with a 2nd and 11. The handoff goes to Wood. He breaks a tackle, has another first down. He goes all the way down to the 26-yard line. Dan Wood pounding through there in a big hole, a 12-yard gain on the play, and it's another first down for Pleasant Valley. 7-0 is the score. Pleasant Valley on top. The Bulldogs trying to hold them here and stay in the ball game. The Vikings are threatening, though, with a 1st and 10 at the Gridley 27. Huggins goes out to the far side, I formation this time. Vikings moving from our left to our right here. And the handoff goes to Wood again, spins away from one tackler. It's hit as he gets down to about the 24-yard line. We've got 9.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Pleasant Valley leads it 7-0. Penalty flag goes down as, I don't know what that was, I guess delay of game. Too much time. So that's a big break for Gridley, as instead of 4th and 1, it's going to be 4th and 6. And that, I don't know if that'll affect their decision or not. They may be a little bit too far for a field goal right here, as they would have to kick it about 40 yards. And they are apparently going for the first down. Souza with Wood and Hunter in the backfield behind him. I formation. Back to pass goes Souza. Souza getting a rush, throwing over here, incomplete. Intended for Luke once again. He was open and was going to have the first down. They ran the perfect play. He was wide open. He just couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, well, that was a real break for Gridley. The kid was wide open. He dropped the ball. He hit him in the numbers. It's happened a lot of times. But watching this Gridley team all year, it's the kind of break we need. We may move now.
Well, the Gridley fans certainly hope so. We got a lot of them here tonight. It's packed, and packed across the way, too, for Pleasant Valley. The Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Jensen with a quick pitch outside to Cassidy. Cassidy getting some blocking, picking his way up across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Now they're going to spot it back at the 27, so it'll be a gain of only a couple of yards on the play. Looked like he had more than that, but they brought it back to the 27. So it's a 2-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. 7-0, Pleasant Valley. The Bulldogs putting on a good defensive stand right there to keep Pleasant Valley from scoring again. Jensen pitches it to the right side this time. Cassidy looks for running room, gets a little block on the side, gets across the 30, up to about the 33-yard line, and he's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. Gridley keeps it pretty basic, Jack, with the pitch out right, the pitch out left, and they get those blockers out in front.
Well, Mike Cassidy running, he's a hard runner. He's been doing it well all year. That's their basic stuff. They're not fancy or anything else. They just run right at them and hope they can get the job done.
It'll be 3rd down and about a yard and a half for the Bulldogs, who need a first down here. The pitch goes back. Cassidy falls on the fumble as it was a bad pitch by Jensen. Cassidy couldn't hold it, and it's a fumble recovery by Cassidy, which will enable Gridley to punt on 4th down, but that certainly hurts the Bulldogs as they don't pick up a first down now for the 3rd straight time after getting the football. In to punt for Gridley is Tim Owen. Gets a good snap from center, has time to kick, and he gets it away off the side of his foot. Not a real good kick. Needs a good bounce, and it's down there by Gridley at the 46-yard line, and Pleasant Valley will take over 1st and 10. We've got a short timeout here. Let's pause for this commercial word.
It's amazing how fast the word has spread. But to set the record, change your mind, you get your money back. Simple? Simple. Gridley Growers, 700 Hazel Street in Gridley.
Back here at Gridley High School on the first down play, Souza faked a handoff and bootlegged it around the left side. He got from the 46-yard line across midfield to the 47 of Gridley. So it's a 6-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Pleasant Valley Vikings. This handoff goes to Hunter. He gets by one tackler, goes out of bounds on the far side at about the 43-yard line, and it'll be an apparent first down for Pleasant Valley. the fog really coming in, and it's getting pretty hazy, pretty almost to the point where it's becoming a little hard to see the players out there. Let's hope the fog doesn't really sock in. We've got 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half of play, and Pleasant Valley leads it 7-0. First down for the Vikings. Souza goes back to pass, being chased, throws it out here, incomplete, intended for Luke once again. You know, the Vikings have the reputation of being a real running team, but they're not afraid to throw that ball on first down.
No, and I can't blame them. Their receivers have been open tonight. They apparently have us very well scouted. I think Gridley has got to rise up now. They got to do something before the half. They got to hold Pleasant Valley in this drive, and I think they can do it. But they're not playing now the way that they can play. But I'm sure they'll rise to the occasion.
Souza pitches outside to Hunter. Hunter looks for some blocks, has a couple, gets across the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Boy, it looked like they had him boxed in that time, but all of a sudden Hunter found an opening. And he went on the near sideline for 13 yards and another first down for the Vikings.
31. Okay,
Hunter now with 12 carries for 50 yards so far. 40 yards. He's got 11 carries for 40 yards here in the first half. First and 10 for Pleasant Valley. Souza turns around, now goes back to pass. The bootleg play, gets a block, is knocked out of bounds, though, as he gets back to the, didn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage, got knocked out at the 32-yard line, so it'll be a loss of a couple of yards on the play. Pleasant Valley dominating on first downs so far, as the Vikes have 8 first downs to 2 for Gridley here in the first half, and they lead on the scoreboard 7-0. Cardenas, Jenkins, and also Smith in the deep backfield for Gridley as they play a 4-4 defense. 4 linebackers standing up there. And it's a handoff to Hunter, who's hit behind the line and dropped. Good play that time by Doug Rudd, 5'9", 152-pound junior. That time Hunter looked like he might have been off to the races again, but Rudd got in there and got him before he got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 11 now for Pleasant Valley. Bulldogs holding Pleasant Valley for no gain on the first 2 plays in this series. 3rd and 11. Souza will throw on this play most probably. Hands it off. It's a double reverse. It goes to Shin. They look for Souza downfield. It's incomplete as they tried the double reverse pass with Huggins, that was, throwing the ball. And Souza, the quarterback, normally no one will pick up the quarterback after he hands off, but that time the Gridley defense was ready for it, and they made a good play. He was well covered.
Well, they've seen that play before. They had it scouted. They were looking for it. And that time, Gridley had the ball well covered. There wasn't a Pleasant Valley man around the ball, really.
4th down and 11. The Vikings trying to pick up a first down. They're at the Gridley 31-yard line. Souza goes back to pass. Souza looks, throws it deep out here, and it's batted away by Bobby Jenkins. Good coverage as Shin was down there. Jenkins could have made an interception that time, but he wisely elected to just bat the ball away because he knew it was 4th down.
That's one thing about Bobby Jenkins. He's gotten a lot of publicity as a wide receiver. He's caught 11-foot touchdown passes this year, but he's a smart defensive player, and he could have intercepted that ball, but he knocked it down instead.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as they put on their best defensive effort of the night so far in that series, as they stop the Vikings cold after the Vikings had a first down at the Gridley 32. Jensen at quarterback. Jensen on the handoff. It goes to Forster. Forster breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, gets across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. Good run by Kurt Forster, who's shaken up as he gets back to his feet. Forster limping badly now, has to go back down to the ground as he got hit hard. And now the officials are calling a timeout here as Forster really shaken up on that play, and he comes to the sidelines. Darcy Wingo is looking at him. Let's hope that Kurt isn't hurt. He's a great performer, a senior, 5'9", 150 pounds, one of the mainstays in the Gridley backfield all year long. They're still tending to him down there in front of the Gridley bench as we've got a timeout here on the field. We'd like to quickly again say thanks to our sponsors on tonight's game: McConnell Ford, Brown & Company, King Market, Spurgeon Home Center, the Old Roma Liquor Store, Gridley Growers, Western Auto, and Tucker Chevrolet. All in Gridley. It's going to be a 2nd down and 6 play when play is resumed, but they're still attending to Forrester down on the field there. Now they're helping him up, and he looks like he's shaken up pretty badly. It looks like his left leg. Let's hope Kurt isn't hurt too badly. Darcy Wingo down there taking a look at him. And he appears to be in quite a bit of pain there as they bring him over to the bench. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Bulldogs. They got 4 yards on that play. Cardenas comes in to replace Forrester. He's been alternating at that spot anyway. High formation for the Bulldogs. Jensen at quarterback. He's got Rudd as the slot back. The handoff goes to Cassidy. Cassidy crosses the 40-yard line, got up to about the 41. It'll be, actually closer to the 40. They put it right on the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1. The Bulldogs have been faced with a couple of these tonight, and they haven't had much luck. They picked up a couple of first downs on their first possession, but since that early first quarter have not picked up another first down. Jenkins goes out to the far side. Double coverage on Jenkins over there. The handoff goes to Cassidy. He's got the first down, breaks the tackle. Is tripped up from behind as he got to midfield down to the 46-yard line. Cassidy went rambling through there that time and almost broke it.
Well, Mike Cassidy's a good football player. I have him in my senior province class, and I told him today, just before school was out, Mike, if you don't score, you're going to fail senior province. He said, Coach, I have to do it to graduate. So Mike's running real hard, and he's going to contribute before the night's over.
A 14-yard gain and a first down for the Bulldogs at the 47. Jensen with a handoff to Cassidy, and this time there's nothing there as he's hit hard by Phil Carver. He's the all-league linebacker for the Pleasant Valley Vikings. Pleasant Valley with a number of all-league selections. That all-league team just announced the other day. And now Cassidy is the leading ball carrier for Gridley with 8 carries for 28 yards. Forrester over on the bench. Now Forrester is up off the bench. The pitch out goes to Cardenas. Cardenas tries to cut back and lost his footing. We walked the field before the game. It's Bermuda, and pretty solid footing out there, but that time Cardenas slipped as he tried to cut back. Otherwise, he might have had some more yardage. He was brought down at the 43-yard line, a gain on that play of 5 yards, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6. The Bulldogs lost a yard on first down. Here comes Gridley to the line with Cardenas and Cassidy in the backfield. Jenkins still haven't thrown a pass to him yet. And now a timeout is called by Jensen as he didn't like the way the Pleasant Valley defense looked. With timeout on the field, the scoreboard shows Pleasant Valley 7, Gridley nothing. Let's pause for this word.
Attention new car buyers. Tucker Chevrolet.
To go to Bobby Jenkins, his number 1 receiver, and he went out to Doug Rudd. And I think if Doug Rudd hadn't been interfered with, he might have caught that ball. It is only less than 2 minutes here, and of course, as I've indicated all night without saying so, I'm a pro Gridley fan, but I look for Gridley to score before this half is over.
Okay, we'll see what happens. It's a 15-yard penalty against the Pleasant Valley Vikings, and the ball goes down to the 28-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Gridley getting a break here on that penalty, as that will give them an opportunity to maybe get something going here before the first half comes to a close. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Pleasant Valley leads it 7-0. 1st and 10. Jensen gives it on the reverse to Pat King. King breaks by 1 tackler, gets down to the 24-yard line. A gain of about 4 yards on the play for Pat King. They're keeping Pleasant Valley honest. You know, Jack, you're mentioning about them not throwing to Jenkins. You notice every time Jenkins lines up, they've got one man up right on him. That's Jim Evans, who's the cornerback. And then behind him on double coverage is the all-league performer, that safety man, who is Ron Souza. So they've really got him covered. Jenkins, I'm speaking of. and that may be why we're seeing Jensen throwing to his other receivers. They're talking it over out there. We could have a penalty on the play as they're in the Gridley. It could be an equipment problem. They're all kind of standing around down there with the official there, and they're attending to Bobby Jenkins. And apparently he just had an equipment problem. They took care of it, and it'll be second down and about 7. They gave him only a 3-yard gain on that play. They spotted just inside the 25. Second down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Cardenas and Cassidy in the backfield. The handoff goes to Cassidy. Breaks by one tackler. Fights for a yard. Well, he was lucky to get a yard on that play. He didn't have any running room at all, but just kept his balance and managed to squirm to about the 24-yard line. We've got just 1 minute remaining now in the first half of play. We might see the Bulldogs go to the air as they've got a 3rd down and 7. Pat King in there at the slot back now. Bobby Jenkins comes to the near side. And the tight end right now is Tim Owen. Cassidy and Cardenas in the backfield. Jensen goes back to pass. Jensen looks for Jenkins in the corner. The pass is there. It's intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Souza. It was Souza who came up with the football in the end zone. And that's what we were talking to you about earlier, how the Vikings are putting double coverage on Jenkins. He got by the first man, but Souza was lurking back there, and he picked him up as a free safety.
Well, I noticed there, actually, when the ball was intercepted, there were 3 Pleasant Valley players there. Now, Coach Steve Dodson is known as a defensive coach. They scouted Bobby. They know he's good. But I'd like to relate a little thing that happened when we played San Lorenzo. They stayed overnight. I was talking to the defensive back that covered Bobby, and he said, I was with him. I had him covered all the way, and I looked around, and he had the ball for a touchdown in the end zone. Meanwhile, another play has gone on, but I really don't believe, even if they double cover him, that they can't cover Bobby Jenkins all night.
Okay, first down play was a handoff to Wood, who got to the 22-yard line, a 2-yard pickup on the play, and the time's running down. I thought that we were just with a minute left, but we're ticking down here the final seconds of the first half. And there's the gun. Do they get off the play? Yes, but it's no gaining, and stopped at the line of scrimmage was Wood once again. And that's the gun ending the first half of play with the scoreboard showing the Gridley Bulldogs 0 and the Pleasant Valley Vikings 7. We'll be back with a word here at halftime after this message.
Get stocked up for Thanksgiving now.
But on the first down play, Brad Jensen, the great quarterback, fumbled the snap, and Pleasant Valley recovered. The Vikings took over from there, drove 15 plays, 61 yards, and scored the touchdown on a 1-yard run by their big fullback, Dan Wood, on a 4th and goal play from the 1, as it looked like Gridley might hold him there. They had him on a 3rd down and 3, and they held him. Gridley jumped off sides, and they got the ball down to the 1.5. And the key to that first drive, 3 offside penalties against the Bulldogs. That didn't do them any good at all. And Pleasant Valley took advantage of it. The Vikings scoring on that 1-yard run. The kick was good, and the score was 7-0 with about 5 minutes left in that first quarter. The Bulldogs got the ball back and then had to punt. Pleasant Valley came right back down again. Gridley held them on 4th down. The Bulldogs got the ball again, and this time they threw an interception as it was picked off by Mike Gubbles. Then a clipping penalty on that pass interception return moved the ball back to midfield. Pleasant Valley came down and again missed on a 4th down play, and Gridley got the ball back. The Bulldogs finally got going. A couple of runs by Cassidy, the big plays, and they ended up down at the 25-yard line. They went for Bobby Jenkins in the end zone, and it was intercepted by Souza, and that was the story of the first half. The scoreboard shows 7-0 in favor of Pleasant Valley, and we'll take you right now back to our KORV studios where Marty Gonzalez is standing by with some news and hopefully a score from Reading for us. Marty?
For 82 yards. The Pleasant Valley Vikings with 8 first downs in the first half to Gridley's 4. The leading rusher so far in the ball game with 40 yards and 12 carries is Scott Hunter of Pleasant Valley. Second leading rusher, Dan Wood, with 33 yards and 8 carries. Ron Souza, the quarterback, has carried 4 times for 11 yards, and that's it really for Pleasant Valley. On the Gridley side of the ledger, we have Mike Cassidy with 29 yards and 9 carries. Rich Cardenas has 21 yards and 3 carries. 3 carries. And Mike Forrester with a total of 4 yards in 4 carries. Pat King with 3 yards and 1 carry. Passing so far, we've seen Souza hitting for 3 of 9. He's completed passes of 7, 10, and 1 yards. And then Brad Jensen throwing the ball 7 times and has 1 completed. He's had 2 interceptions. That's probably the big story here in the first half, with Gubbles picking off 1 and Souza picking that pass off in the end zone. We saw Gridley take the opening kickoff and move right down to the 36-yard line. They really looked like they were taking it to Pleasant Valley, and then we had a fumble at the snap on first down. The ball was recovered at the 41-yard line, and from that point, Pleasant Valley drove 61 yards in 15 plays, with Wood carrying over from the 1.5-yard line. The key thing, I think, Jim, in that series were 3 5-yard penalties. The last one actually from the 3-yard line, half the distance of the goal, as with their calling the signals and Gridley breaking the neutral zone for encroachment, and those were really set up the Pleasant Valley scoring drive.
Al, you got a chance to see Oroville play against Pleasant Valley. Did the Vikings cause Oroville the same type of problem with that offside at all?
Not so much, but they didn't throw the ball nearly like they are tonight. I think if you could assess what happened so far, Pleasant Valley is really rushing Jensen. He's not able to set up, and from what I can gather from hearing Jack, Gridley really does count on their passing game, and so far they have not been successful through the air. And if Souza had hit a couple guys, he had wide open receivers 2 or 3 times and has missed them. And Pleasant Valley, I think, really surprising us because they do have a fine running game with the tandem of Wood and Hunter running, and now they've come out really throwing. But Gridley's still in the ball game, 7-0. Anything can happen here in the second half, and I look for Gridley to come back, like Jack says, and score. And you know, when you look at the comparative scores between the two ball clubs, there's a lot of misleading information there, because you take a ball club like Willows that was so hot so early and then lost Ponciano, and they lost Blackman for a period of time. And before they were lost, that's when Pleasant Valley played them. And then when Gridley got to them, of course they were down. They'd lost 2 or 3 of their big starters. So it's very hard to speculate on the comparative scores. It's misleading, and we saw Pleasant Valley definitely a bigger ball club, and they've got that big 193-pound fullback. And Gridley, as I look at their lineup, they have a lot of juniors in there in the line, and their kids are 150, 163 pounds right through there. Pleasant Valley, a much bigger ball club. But like you say, Gridley is a scrappy ball club. They have the great record, and they're playing here before a great hometown crowd. And I look for Gridley to come back and make it very tough, and we, perhaps win the ball game. Who knows?
Well, it's a long second half, and of course, Pleasant Valley will get the ball to start the second half. And for the first time, assuming they don't get a big run back, Pleasant Valley is going to have to start from not good field position. They've had great field position. The deepest they've ever started from was their own 36-yard line, and that came when they recovered the fumble and they drove from there. But every other time the Vikings have gotten the ball, it's been with good field position at the 50-yard line, or at sometimes inside the 50-yard line, whereas on the other hand, Gridley has had to work for everything. They've started at the 20 twice, at the 25 once, and at the, I think, about the 28 one time. So the Bulldogs not getting the breaks on field position, and really, Jack, I think if you look at things, Gridley really should consider themselves fortunate to be behind by only a touchdown the way things went for them in the first half.
Well, yeah, you're right, Jim, and Al, I'd have to go along with you. The first half has belonged almost entirely to Pleasant Valley. Our kids, I know, I have a lot of them in class, and I talk to them all the time, and they were nervous today. They've been together since 4 o'clock this afternoon. They eat dinner together. It's a hard team to read, you know. Coaches, even old coaches, like to read the feelings of players. Our kids were really nervous today. As a rule, they're loose. They're, kind of a bunch of characters. They're fun-loving kids. And I've never seen them so tense as they were today. But I do know this. They have a lot of pride. Coach Ebby has a knack of figuring things out at halftime. And another thing I wonder about, Jim, really, and I don't know how the other coaches feel about it, I wonder about these playoff games sometimes, because here we are. I don't know if you know it or not. I did a study several years ago for a class, and I found out, I checked the season records of every high school football team in the state of California. And I don't know if you know this or not, but less than 1% of high school teams in the state of California are undefeated. Less than 3% are 8-1, 9-1, whatever. And we have had a wonderful season here. Our kids have done a real fine job. And here we are in a playoff game, and the thing that bothers me, I don't know how our own high school coaches feel about it, Bruce Ebby and Darcy Wingo and Larry Schutz and the rest, but we've done an incredible job. The town is proud, and I wonder about these playoff games, because here the 4 best teams in our section, in our north section, that's Gridley, Corning, PV, and Enterprise. They are the 4 best teams by their records, and they've won their rights to these playoffs. They're the 4 best teams in our north section, which includes a lot of schools. And yet, with these playoffs, 3 of these teams that are the best in our section are going to lose a football game. And I know that to be the ultimate champion is really important, and yet I have mixed emotions about playoff games where kids come. Our kids are 9-0, and all their lives they can talk about this. 40 years from now, they can talk about how great they were, and yet, in all their discussions at their class reunions or anything else, and including all 4 of these teams, they can say to themselves, yeah, we were undefeated in league play, we were the league champions, but the last sentence will be, but we lost the playoff game for the section championship. And I really don't know how important that becomes. All I know is that we're proud of our team. I look for them to make a comeback. Pleasant Valley owned the first half, and deservedly so. They're playing very well. Steve Dodson is a fine coach. So is Bruce Ebby. I just hope that when this game is over, both teams, both coaches are proud of themselves, which they can be. They're playing in a big championship game, and I think it's a fine thing for high school sports.
Okay, well, it's beginning to look like it could be a tie. There's a possibility of a tie. We asked the official before the ball game what would happen if the game itself ended in a tie, and what they will do is flip a coin, and one team will get the ball on the 10-yard line, the other team's 10-yard line, and they'll have 4 downs. And if they score, then the other team gets the ball on the 10-yard lines, and they get 4 downs. And they keep going through that process until one team wins the game. And each team gets an equal number of possessions, and the team that scores and keeps the other team from scoring will win the ball game. So that's how it's going to be decided if we do come down to a tie. And with the 7-0 score here at halftime, it is very possible that we could have a tie ball game. Brad Jensen warming up on the sidelines for Gridley as he tossed the ball back and forth. and Souza warming up on the far side for Pleasant Valley. We should be about ready to start the second half here. And before we have the kickoff of the second half, let's pause for this message.
Your first in the West Ford dealer, Ed McConnell Ford in Gridley, is offering you a day at Ed McConnell Ford in Great Gridley. While you're there, check out all the great new and used cars and trucks. Ed McConnell Ford, your first in the West Ford dealer.
Jim, in the high school game up in Reading that's going on between Enterprise and Corning, they have just gotten to halftime, and Enterprise is leading Corning by a score of 6-0. That's at the half up in Reading.
Okay, thank you very much, Marty. As we got that halftime score, 6-0 Enterprise leading Corning in the first half. That's at the end of the first half. The captains have come out on the field, and we should be just about ready for the start of the second half of play. Gridley will be kicking off to start the second half. Pleasant Valley will be moving from our right to our left, and the Bulldogs, of course, moving the opposite way. So now the PA man gives that score out to the crowd, as everybody's wondering who the winner of this game will be playing. The winner, of course, of this game will play the winner of the Enterprise Corning game on Wednesday night at Chico State. Souza and Shin are back deep for Pleasant Valley, and kicking off for Gridley will be Rudy Rodriguez. Rudy will boot it from the 40-yard line. Of course, he tees the ball up on a real angle. Looks like he's going for a high kick here. We'll see what happens. Rodriguez, squibs it. Down, rolls down. It's being bounced around, and it's fallen on by Pleasant Valley at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Vikings will take over. So again, Pleasant Valley starts off in pretty good field position at their own 36-yard line. Just underway at the start of the second half, with Pleasant Valley leading it 7-0. Souza at quarterback with Dan Wood and Scott Hunter in the backfield behind him. An I formation on first down. The handoff goes to Wood. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Good play that time, as making the stop for Gridley was Constantine George. He's 6'1", 201 pounds. He was helped out on the play by Jamie Torres. A loss of 2 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 12 for Pleasant Valley. Shin goes out to the far side. I formation now. They shift into a pro set. Back to pass goes Souza. Souza getting some pressure, throwing it downfield. It's batted away. And the penalty flag goes down. Penalty flag goes down. It's offensive pass interference. As back there defending was Richard Cardenas, and the intended receiver, the big tight end, Darrell Stevens, and that was offensive pass interference against Pleasant Valley. Cardenas had great position on that pass, and Stevens tried to come back through the defender to get to the ball, and it was pass interference. So a good defensive play by the Bulldogs. Will move it back 15 yards, back to the 19. And that will result in, it'll be third down now. They also lose the down. Offensive pass interference call, a crucial one against Pleasant Valley right there, as Gridley comes out tough on defense here at the start of the second half. Souza moving his backfield around. He's in the I formation now. Back to pass he goes. He looks downfield, throws it out here, intercepted and dropped. Cardenas had the ball and he dropped it at the 30-yard line. And Pleasant Valley will have a fourth down kicking situation. Boy, you could hear the crowd just give it the big ooh-ah right there, as Cardenas had the interception and couldn't hold the ball. He was in perfect position, and I think tried to run with it before he actually had the ball. It'll still result in good field position for Gridley, as punting it for Pleasant Valley is Russ Luke, one of the receivers. Good rush on him, but he gets off a nice high kick. It's taken by the running back, Brown coming down the near sideline. They got the picket line set up, and he's down the sideline all the way to the 32-yard line. Boy, Brown had a lane down the sideline, and had he cut to the middle of the field, he might have really broken it wide open, but he tried to go through a man down there and got knocked out of bounds.
Oh, James Brown is a sophomore. He's an exciting runner. We look for great things from him in the future.
James Brown, I've been calling him Jim. Maybe he prefers to be called James. I better start. He looks pretty big.
37-yard punt, a 22-yard return.
37-yard punt, but a 22-yard return. So actually that interception miss there by Cardenas didn't make any difference because that's about where he was going to have the ball anyway. Gridley with a first down at the Pleasant Valley 34-yard line. The handoff goes to Mike Cassidy, and Cassidy gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Let's see where they spot it. Down at the 33. So it'll be a gain of about a yard on the play. Forrester is still on the sidelines. He was shaken up in the first half. His knee apparently injured. He's up walking around on it, but it doesn't look like he'll be back in there tonight. Cardenas taking over for him in the backfield. In motion goes Cardenas. Hands it off to Cassidy, who's hit behind the line and dropped. Making the tackle for Pleasant Valley is Steve Luke. Steve Luke and Russ Luke, brothers on the Pleasant Valley team. We've got about 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. A loss of a couple of yards on that play. It'll be third down and call it 12. Third and 12. Jensen in a passing situation here with Jenkins to the near side. Again, they've got double coverage on him. Jensen goes back to pass. They're setting up the screen. They lob it over here for Cassidy. He's got it. Heading down the far sideline. Gets a block. Cuts inside. He's to the 10. Knocked out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Mike Cassidy, 27-yard pass play on the screen. It was beautifully set up by Jensen as he faded back. And, Jack, that's what's great about having a 6'3" quarterback. That kid can stand back there and see the receiver when those linemen are coming in.
That's right, baby. Hey, I'm getting all excited. Now, they can cover Bobby Jenkins 3-on-1 all night, and they're going to hit somebody else. That was beautiful.
20, how many yards? 24? 27-yard play. It's first and goal for Gridley. The pitch out goes to Cardenas. Cardenas being held on by his shirt. He's pulled down at the line of scrimmage. He needed just a little more of a block there on that man who had him as he got a hold of him by the shirt and was hanging on for dear life, and Cardenas couldn't get away. He had some blockers out in front had he gotten to the outside. No gain on the play. Gridley threatening here in the third quarter with about 9 minutes to go. 7-0. Pleasant Valley leads it, but the Bulldogs have it. Second and goal at the 9-yard line. Jenkins goes out to the far side as a wide receiver. Jensen hands off inside to Cardenas again. Not much of a hole. He's stopped after about a yard gain. It'll be third down and goal from the 8-yard line. When you get down in that tough yardage situation, you can't overemphasize how important it is to get 3 or 4 yards on first down, because if you get stopped cold like the Bulldogs did, then you're in real trouble trying to pick up that touchdown in 4 plays, or only 3 plays after you get stopped for no gain. Now it's third down and goal from the 9-yard line. Jensen wants to throw it. Looks, throws. It's complete. Touchdown. Is it a touchdown? I don't know. They're ruling him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. That's very, very close to being a touchdown. The reception made by Doug Rudd right in the corner, and they are so close to being in. Boy, it is right on that line. That was a tough call for the official to make to determine whether or not he got in there or not, but he was right on the play. It'll be fourth down and goal from the 1-yard line as Gridley tries to tie this thing up. The crowd on their feet here on the near side. Cardenas and Cassidy. It's a quarterback sneak, and we'll wait for an official signal. All the Gridley players are signaling touchdown, touchdown, says the official. Boy, if that wasn't a delayed reaction, Jensen took it on the quarterback keeper. All the Gridley players were standing up signaling touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. The referee had to get in there and unpile him, and then he called the touchdown. and the Bulldogs get right back in it here as they score on their first possession of the second half. 34-yard drive in 7 plays for Gridley, and now attempting the extra point for the Bulldogs. We've got Rudd as the holder. The ball's placed down. The kick is up, and it's good. And Pat King kicks the extra point. Pat King with the extra point good, and it's all tied up at 7 apiece. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a minute.
Folks at Spurgeon Home Center and Building Supply in Gridley say go Bulldogs as Gridley's first undefeated team since 1940 goes for the section championship. Spurgeon Home Center is sponsoring the live broadcast of tonight's game, and they'd like to remind you of all the fantastic selection of home improvement supplies and tools that they carry. Workbenches, dog houses, patio benches, barbecue tables, screen doors, bird houses, roofing adhesives, paint, you name it, and the Spurgeon Home Center has it for your home. Spurgeon Home Center at 801 Washington Street, or call 846-2222. Now back to Gridley High School and Jim Ragland.
Thanks, Marty. We're back here all tied up at 7 apiece. The squib kick again, but up by the running back, Hunter. Hunter getting a few blocks as he gets across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. Again, Pleasant Valley starts with good field position. Last time, Gridley did a great job on defense to hold off the Vikings. A 12-yard run back on that kick by Hunter, and it's a first down for Pleasant Valley at the 42-yard line of Pleasant Valley. Gridley scoring on a 7-play, 34-yard drive. The big play, a 27-yard screen pass to Mike Cassidy. First and 10 for Pleasant Valley. I formation. Gridley almost jumps offside, and again the flags fly. The Bulldogs jumping offside. They aren't waiting to see if they make contact. As soon as they go across that line, they're dropping the flag. They aren't making contact. They're just kind of jumping a little bit, and maybe that's a high school rule.
That's a new rule this year. If a kid encroaches, if he crosses the line, they throw the flag, and that's it. And Gridley's real eager now. They're real keyed up.
Well, they've had 4 of those 5-yard penalties on offside, the same situation. First and 5. The ball at the 46-yard line now. Souza with a handoff to Hunter. Hunter gets a good gain across the 50-yard line down to about the 46 of Gridley, and it's going to be a first down for the Vikings, a 9-yard pickup. Time running with 7 minutes remaining in the ball in the third quarter. It's all tied up at 7 apiece. Souza at quarterback with, again, the I formation. Hunter and Wood are the running backs. Fakes the handoff, wants to throw. He's being chased, gets away from pressure, goes to the 40, breaks another tackle, gets down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Good scramble by Ron Souza, 5'9", 160-pound junior, and a 13-yard run by Souza on the keeper to give Pleasant Valley another first down in Gridley territory at the 34-yard line. We're all tied up at 7 apiece.
Well, Gridley roared right back after that second half kickoff, but I have to say Pleasant Valley sure isn't going to give him anything. They're on a nice drive now. I hope Gridley can stop them.
First and 10. Souza with a handoff to Wood, the quick opener, right up the middle, shedding tacklers as he goes down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. This Wood is an excellent running back. He was an all-league performer, and he went on the quick trap up the middle and picked up 8 yards. Call it, they've got him a 9-yard gain down to the 24, and it's second down and 1. Shin goes out to the far side, getting a little chillier right now as the temperature drops a little bit. And again, Gridley goes offside. Jumping off that time was Mike McClung, who's 5'11", 185 pounds, a junior. That's 5 times now Gridley's jumped off sides. Pleasant Valley, they just have that offensive interference penalty. Okay, they had the clipping, too, in the first half. I'd forgotten about that. So yardage-wise, it's just about even, but the Gridley penalties have come at crucial times, always on first down. It's first and 10 once again. Souza with a handoff to Wood, breaks one tackle, gets to the 15-yard line, and it's going to be a gain on that play of 4 yards down to the 15. It's going to be second down and 6. 6 minutes, actually, let's see here. Trying to read this clock. 5 minutes now remaining in the third quarter, all tied at 7 apiece. The halftime score was Corning 0, Enterprise 6 up in Reading. Souza on the reverse. It goes to the end, who tries to get to the outside, and there's a penalty flag down. We'll have clipping as tripped up on the end reverse is Rich DeBon, and we'll have a clipping penalty back here in the backfield. It looked like Gridley was going to throw DeBon for a loss after he took that reverse, but instead DeBon got to the outside, and a clipping penalty, 15 yards, will be marched off here against Pleasant Valley, and that comes at a bad time for the Vikings, because instead of a slight gain in the play of about 3 or 4 yards, they're going to have it back at the 37 or 8-yard line, call it the 38-yard line, and it'll be second down and 21. Let's see, it's a little more than that, I believe. It's second down and 26. Second and 26. They're running out of the shotgun now. They may punt it here. No. Souza fumbles the ball in the backfield. He's being chased back there. They've got him, and he's balled away back at the 47-yard line of Gridley. They tried to go out of the shotgun that time, an obvious passing situation, and Souza missed the snap. It fell behind him, and the Bulldogs were right on him. McClung was back there making the stop along with Shore, and it'll be third down now, a 16-yard loss. So let's see, that makes it third and 42. And now, again, the short punt formation. In motion goes DeBone. The snap goes to Souza. They look for DeBone. Again, Souza's being chased. He breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. Still on his feet, gets all the way back to the 50-yard line. Boy, that Souza is really something back there. He didn't come anywhere near picking up the first down, but boy, he is frisky when he's hard to bring down.
Hey, this has got to be a credit to Steve Dotson. I don't know much about their season, but he's put in his shotgun. It's a surprise, and they're doing well with it. They're going all out to win this ball game, and this kid Souza is playing a fine game.
We've got 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and Pleasant Valley is forced into a kicking situation. They get the kick away. It's a high end-over-end kick, takes a high bounce, bounds down at the 24-yard line, and that's where Gridley will take over first and 10. Shaken up on that last play was one of the Gridley players, Scott Clapp, and Clapp limps off the field. Gridley's offense will take over first and 10 at the 25-yard line. 25-yard punt for Russ Luke, as he did a good job to even get that ball away. He was really being pressured by the rush of the Bulldogs. All tied up at 7 apiece, and Gridley with the football now, first and 10. Jensen pitches it outside to Cardenas. Cardenas looking for a blocker, cuts upfield, gets across the 30, and up to about the 32-yard line. Good run by Rich Cardena. Boy, he's done a great job, Jack, coming on for Forster, who is injured.
Oh, yeah, Rich Cardenas. That's the one thing about the Gridley team this year. They have balance. Rich Cardenas is the type of runner. He'll start to his left or right or whatever, and he'll look for a hole. He'll look, and then he'll just turn on a burst of speed. That time he picked up, 7, 8 yards.
8-yard gain for Cardenas, and it's second and 2 for the Bulldogs. Jenkins comes out to the near side. They've still got double coverage on him. Jensen on the handoff to Cassidy. Cassidy has the first down, gets up across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. A gain on that play of about 5 yards, and it'll be a first down for the Bulldogs, who are catching up in that first down total. Gridley now with 8 first downs and 11 first downs for Pleasant Valley, but it was 8-4 at halftime. So the Bulldogs have outplayed Pleasant Valley here in the third quarter so far. It's all tied at 7 apiece. First down, Jensen goes back to pass. He looks deep, throws it incomplete. I believe it either slipped out of his hand or possibly somebody deflected at the line of scrimmage. He was looking for Pat King coming over the middle. He had Jenkins on a straight post pattern. Jenkins down there waving his arms, but he wasn't really open. And It's going to be an incomplete pass. I didn't see that, Jack. Did somebody deflect the ball?
I think they did. One of those big linemen got their hands on it. But they'll keep throwing. If they're going to cover Jenkins like that, someone else is going to be open.
Second down and 10. Again, Jensen to pass. Looks over the middle. Throws it complete to Jenkins. Jenkins heads for the sidelines. Is knocked out of bounds at midfield, but it's another first down for the Bulldogs. 12-yard gain. That time they got Jenkins open, and boy, Jensen rifled that ball. You'll see some quarterbacks throw it when they really zip it like that, and these receivers can't catch it when they throw it that hard. But Jenkins has glue fingers, and he held on that time.
That was a rifle shot, and old Bobby can catch anything that's near him. It was a good pass, and he's going to catch a couple more tonight.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 50-yard line. Jenkins to the near side. They hand it on the reverse to Pat King. King has blockers. He goes to the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And Gridley is beginning to really mix it up now. They throw over the middle, hand off on the reverse, go on those dive plays. And when you get to this point, when you're moving that football, then you get the defense guessing, and that's what the Bulldogs have got Pleasant Valley doing right now. They've got the balance that you talked about earlier, Jack, and when you've got that, they don't know what to expect on any given play. We've got about 3 minutes remaining here, or make it 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Back to pass goes Jensen. He throws over the middle, complete again to Jenkins. Jenkins heads for the corner. He's to the 20. He's knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Another big gain for the Bulldogs. 23 yards on that play, and Gridley is threatening once again. Boy, when this team gets hot, there's no stopping them. They have really caught fire here in the second half.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, Bruce Evey does a job at halftime. Gridley is playing football in this third quarter the way they're capable of. They didn't the first half, and we have to credit Pleasant Valley for that. But the Gridley's moving, and they're playing like they can. I hope they keep it up.
Dave Huggins, the all-league safety man for Pleasant Valley, made the touchdown-saving tackle on Jenkins on that play. First and 10. The ball's at the 13-yard line. Jensen on the handoff, the reverse to King again. He gets by one tackler, fights his way for a couple of yards. He's down to about the 6-yard line. A good run by Pat King. He was brought down on the play by Shin, who gets up slowly, and now King will come over to the sidelines. He's replaced in there by Doug Rudd, who caught a crucial pass earlier in the ballgame to set up the Gridley touchdown. Quarter comes to an end. The Gridley Bulldogs have come on strong here in the third quarter. They've got a first and goal at the 1-yard line as the fourth quarter starts. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this word.
Easy to shop, easy to save.
Brown & Company in Gridley. They're proud to be sponsoring tonight's North Section semifinal playoff. They invite you to stop by soon and check out their store. They have the area's largest selection of men's, women's, and kids' clothes by Lee. Pants, jackets, outfits in Western and casual wear. Brown & Company, conveniently located downtown in Gridley at 946 Hazel Street. Brown & Company says, good luck, Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs are having some good luck, and they're getting some great play here in the third quarter. They were down 7-0 at halftime. They came back, got the ball after stopping Pleasant Valley, drove down, scored a touchdown. They stopped the Vikings again, and here comes Gridley now. They've got a first and goal at the 1-yard line. Jensen, the quarterback, with Cardenas and Cassidy in the backfield. The last time it was 1 yard to go. Jensen took the keeper. He tries it again, and he's close. Pat King singles touchdown. Jenkins singles touchdown. We'll wait for the official to unpile him. Jensen just went straight ahead that time. It's a touchdown again for the Bulldogs. Again, a delayed reaction touchdown call as they had to unpile him. The officials, of course, with this big a ball game are being very, very careful. They want to make sure he was over. But Jensen scores his second touchdown, and the Bulldogs have taken the lead by a score of 13-7. And now Pat King will attempt the extra point. Boy, this town is really behind their ball club. I have to say that. Everybody's on their feet. They're going crazy here in the press box. Rudd to hold. King to attempt the PAT. It's placed down. The kick is up, and it's good. The Bulldogs take the lead 14-7 as we're just underway in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more action right after this word.
Get stocked up for Thanksgiving now at the King Markets in Gridley.
Buy his turkey this year. It's great timing there. We had Pat King kicking the extra point, and then his grandfather's supermarket gets the ad on right after that. We're glad to have him as a sponsor. The squib kick is taken deep back there by Shin. Shin looking for some blocking, gets up to the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Jack, is that the way Gridley's kicked off all year with that squib kick?
Well, Bruce Ebby figured it out. They kick them deep, and the kids run it back to the 40-yard line every time, and in most high school games. So he figured if he squib kicked it, if he could get 1 out of 5, recover it, 1 out of 10, he'd be way ahead of the ball game. And, I think it's good percentage football.
1st and 10 for Pleasant Valley. They find themselves down by a 14-7 count. The handoff goes to Wood. Wood runs over one man, gets to about the 45-yard line. This Wood is a tough fullback, 193 pounds. Little Rudd, who's 5'9", 152, tried to make the tackle. He brought him down, but not after he got carried a couple of yards.
I'll tell you, Jim, Gridley has come out. They're hotter than a firecracker, but Pleasant Valley has not given up. This game's not over yet.
We got a long way to go here. We're still in the 4th quarter, about 14 minutes left, or make that 11 minutes left. 2nd down, the handoff goes to Wood again. Wood goes to the outside, breaks over one man, gets down to the 50, down to the 47-yard line, and he's got a 1st down. It looked like they had him contained at the line of scrimmage, but he got to the outside, and he's got pretty good speed, too, and he picked up 9 yards in the play. It's a 1st down for the Vikings. What a ball game we've got here tonight in Gridley between the Pleasant Valley Vikings and the Gridley Bulldogs. Gridley leads it 14-7. 1st down for the Vikings. Souza on the handoff. It goes to a new man in there. One of the halfbacks, Rich Kemp. He's 6 feet, 175, or make that 170 pounds. Kemp was looked to be one of the strong performers for PV, but this is the first time we've seen him tonight. 4-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 6. Second and 6. Souza leads him to the ball again. He wants to throw it. Looks downfield, throws it, incomplete, and a penalty flag is down as we had the receiver, Rich DeBon, going for the football, and I believe we're going to have a pass interference against Gridley. Cardenas was the man who was there, and there was a collision as they went for the ball. The ball was way overthrown, but this is going to be a penalty against Gridley. It'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, and it'll be, it's going to give him a 1st down. It's going to move it down to the 28-yard line. Pass interference against the Bulldogs. We've got 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, with Gridley leading at 14-7. The winner of this game meets the winner of the Enterprise Corning game up in Chico at Chico State University Stadium for the North Section Championship. And again, the Bulldogs jump off sides. That delayed count by Souza is really giving Gridley trouble. I believe it was Constantine George who jumped off sides that time. 6 offside penalties against the Bulldogs. 14-7 is the score, but the Bulldogs cannot give up many more of those offside penalties. 1st and 5 now for Pleasant Valley. They move it down to the 23-yard line. Souza on the handoff. It goes to Kemp. Kemp's hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. May have gotten about a yard, but that's all. Bill Shore makes the stop. 5'7", 168 pounds, a senior. Well, we're here at the middle, it feels like the middle of football season, but we've got basketball just 1 week away. Tonight, 1 week from tonight, it'll be Butte College at the Butte Classic over in beautiful downtown Pence, and we'll be there with that one beginning about 8 o'clock. Souza rolling out. He's looking for some blocking out there and is getting away from tacklers. He goes all the way for the touchdown. They had him boxed in on the far side, but he got away from 2 Gridley tacklers on that far side and went all the way for the score. A 22-yard touchdown run by Ron Souza. What a player he is, and what a game he's having tonight, as he has given Gridley fits tonight, scrambling out of that pocket and running the football, and he's really hard to bring down. He's not that big, 5'8" or 5'9", 160 pounds, but he's very quick and has that great balance. Now a big extra point being attempted by Phil Carver, as this will tie it up. The ball's placed down, the kick is up, and it's good. The game's all tied, 14 apiece with about 9.5 minutes left. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a minute.
Your first in the West Ford dealer, Ed McCall, Gridley. While you're there, check out all the great new and used cars and trucks. Ed McConnell Ford, your first in the West Ford dealer.
Jim, we have this update on the game up in Reading between Enterprise and Corning. Enterprise has scored another touchdown, and so far they lead Corning 13-0. They're still in the third quarter.
13-0 Enterprise. We're back here at Gridley. That score 13-0 Enterprise over Corning. It's a deep kick, and it's taken back there by James Brown. Brown heading for the far sidelines, looking for some blocking, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line, as the Bulldogs have not been able to get off a good run back on that kickoff all night tonight. They've had the ball kicked to them a total of 3 times at the opening of the ball game and after the 2 touchdowns, and they've gotten it back to the 20 each time, and that's all. So the Bulldogs now find the game all tied up once again, 14 apiece. It was 7-0 at halftime, and we've had 2 touchdowns scored by Gridley and 1 by Pleasant Valley here in the second half. Jensen, the quarterback. On the reverse, it goes to King, and King gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard in the play. It'll be second down. The Bulldogs used that reverse earlier with some success, and they went to it on first down that time. Now they're calling for an official timeout as we've got a man shaken up down there, one of the Gridley players. It looks like it's kind of hard to pick up his number. The official is blocking our view right now. And until we find out who it is, there's an official standing right in the way. We can't see what his number is. It's 14-14. We're all tied up here in the fourth quarter with about 9 minutes remaining in the game. This timeout, they're going to inspect them out there. Darcy Wingo's out there taking a look at the injured player. It's one of the linemen, Rodney Nakamoto, who's a starter at guard, only 5'5", 140 pounds, but a starter at guard, and he's shaken up out there. He was replaced in the lineup by Dwayne Hostad. He's 6 feet 186. Forrester was injured in the first half and has not played since that injury. And here come the Bulldogs with a second down and 9. Cardenas and motion in the backfield. Somebody jumped offside, and I believe it'll be against the Bulldogs, as it looked like Cardenas, who moved before the snap of the ball in that backfield, and it's costing Gridley. These penalties are really hurting him. It'll be second down and 14 now with the ball back to the 16-yard line. Cardenas and Cassidy in the backfield. Jenkins out to the far side, double coverage on him. Jensen back to throw, looks over the middle, intercepted. It's picked off over there by the cornerback Jim Evans, and Evans brings it all the way down to about the 7-yard line. Jensen wanted to go to Bob Jenkins, it looked like, who was the receiver over there, but Evans stepped in front and picked it off. And so Pleasant Valley strikes quickly, and they have a first and goal now at the Gridley, it looks like the 8-yard line. First and goal from the 8-yard line. The Vikings getting that interception. And let's see what they do with it here. Sousa's the quarterback. I formation. The handoff goes to Wood, bounces off one tackler, spins and goes inside the 5, down to about the 3 or 2-yard line. A good run by Wood. Boy, is he tough to bring down. A Gridley defender hit him square on, and Wood just spun right off it. A 5-yard gain. It'll be second and goal from the 3-yard line. Wood with 57 yards on the ground so far tonight. The handoff to Wood. This time he's hit and dropped. Dropped right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be third down. The Bulldogs almost made a goal line stand earlier in the ball game back in the first quarter, but Pleasant Valley scored on a 4th-and-1 play. The Bulldogs took the lead 14-7. Pleasant Valley came right back and scored, and then it was a pass interception by Jim Evans that gave the ball to Pleasant Valley inside the Gridley 10. 3rd down. Souza on the handoff to Wood. Wood fighting his way, and let's see where I believe they're going to mark him down outside the end zone. He got in there, but it was after his knee touched, and it's going to be 4th down. So again, the Gridley Bulldogs get tough on defense. Let's see if they can hold them out here. Pleasant Valley has that great quickness. They might go to the outside at any time, although with that big bruiser, that 193-pounder Wood, they may just go right up the middle. The ball's on the 1-foot line. 4th down. Fourth down. 4th and goal. They can't make a first down. The Bulldog fans come to their feet. Souza on the keeper play. They pushed him in from behind. I don't know if they're going to call that. It's a touchdown for Pleasant Valley. Souza, the quarterback, just went right into the line, and it looked like the fullback just ran right behind him and pushed him, but it's hard to see from this far away. It's a touchdown for Pleasant Valley. Makes the score 20-14 as the Vikings have scored here within about just a couple of minutes apart. We've got about 7 minutes remaining in the game, and once again, Carver will attempt the extra point. The ball's placed down. The kick is up, and it's good. 21-14 is the score. Pleasant Valley leads it. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a minute.
Easy to shop, easy to save.
Brown & Company in Gridley. Proud to be
RV. That's
946 Hazel Street. Brown & Company says, good luck, Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs are going to need some of that luck as they trail 21-14 now with about 7 minutes remaining in the game. There's plenty of time, but Gridley's going to have to get some good field position and get a drive going. Carver to kick off once again. This time the kick is shorter, taken by Brown. Fumbles it momentarily, picks it up, heads for the sideline, gets by one man, and then gets it up to the 30-yard line. The Bulldogs with pretty good position now at the 30-yard line, and that's where their offense will take over 1st and 10. The clock running, and we're down to about 6 minutes remaining now in the ball game. Gridley, with all the chips on the table right now, they've got to get in there and score again and tie this ball game up. Be interesting to see whether they go for 1 or 2 if they score it again. 1st down. Jensen on the handoff to Cassidy, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage and dropped. The tackle made by Steve Luke, 5'11", 203-pound senior. He was right there to make the stop, and Cassidy gained about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The Bulldogs had it going there for about a quarter. In the 3rd quarter, they completely dominated it. Now Pleasant Valley's coming back in the 4th quarter. 2nd down, Jensen to throw. He's got time. He looks, throws over the middle, completes it to Jenkins. Jenkins is up to the 40-yard line. He'll be close to the 1st down. Jenkins coming in on that little look-in pattern, and Jack, you were exactly right when you said he's got glue fingers. I don't think he's dropped anything that's been close to him tonight.
No, he was well covered, and he caught that ball. And Jim, as I said before, this to me, this is high school athletics at its best. This is a fine football game, and I'm about to have a heart attack.
Take it easy. Jensen on the handoff. It goes to Cardenas, and I don't think he made it. Cardenas was stopped, and the Bulldogs are going to have a crucial 4th down play coming up, it looks like. They may call for the measurement here to see exactly how much they need, but it looks like they definitely are short from this angle. The ball's at the 41-yard line, almost to the 41, and it looks like the Bulldogs have to make it to just past the 41-yard line for the 1st down. We've got about 4.5 minutes remaining in the game. And they stretch out the chains, and they are just barely short. just about 2 or 3 inches. There's no doubt they've got to go for it here with only 4.5 minutes left in the game. Gridley taking the lead on the first play of the fourth quarter and then falling behind as Pleasant Valley came back to score 2 quick touchdowns. Big play right here. It's 4th down and inches. The ball at the 41-yard line. They go on set. Jensen fumbled the football, I believe, and Pleasant Valley's got it. Jensen fumbled it on, they tried to go on set on the quarterback sneak, and the ball squirted out of there, and Pleasant Valley's going to take over at the Gridley 43-yard line. Now Gridley needs a break to get back in it as they trail 21-14. Jenkins back there on defense. You can bet the Vikings won't be throwing it now. It's 1st and 10, Pleasant Valley. Souza on the quick handoff. It goes to Hunter, and Hunter stopped immediately at the 45-yard line. Constantine George is making the stop. He was shaken up earlier, but he's back in there on defense now. A loss of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12. 21-14, the clock running. We're at 4 minutes even remaining in the ball game. In the backfield now with Wood, we've got Kemp. And Gridley almost jumps offside. Now they do jump offside. Gridley trying to get off the ball, and they're getting really hurt by these penalties. And the Bulldogs are really getting hurt by these penalties, especially those 5-yard offsiders. That's about the 6th one, I believe. 7th offside penalty against Gridley tonight. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. Souza, the quarterback, with a long count again, gives it to Wood. Wood breaking one tackler, but he's piled up after crossing the 40-yard line down to about the 38. He has a gain of a couple of yards, and it'll be 3rd down with about 8 to go. 3rd and 7, make it. The clock running. We're getting close to 3 minutes remaining in the ball game, and it's getting really tight right now. Gridley'd like to get their hands on the football again and see if they couldn't score and tie it up, but they trail 21-14. 3rd down. Souza rolls back to pass. He may run with it. He fakes the pass. Now heads for the corner. He's knocked out of bounds. I don't think he's got the 1st down. Bill Shore made the tackle. Souza just was running all the way. He put the ball up like he was going to pass it, but it was pretty obvious that he was going to run it all the way. A 4-yard gain, and we'll have 4th down coming up now. Let's see what the Vikings elect to do. The clock running. We're inside 3 minutes now. And it's 4th down. The Vikings. 4th down and 3 yards to go. What are they going to do? They're going to go for it. They're not going to punt. If they don't make it, Gridley will have good field position. 4th and 3. A new quarterback in there. And the handoff goes to Kemp. He's stopped short of the 1st down. And Gridley will take over on downs. A questionable call there by Coach Steve Dodson, as a punt would have put Gridley deep in the hole, but now Gridley gets it with good field position out at the 35.
Well, I don't know if it's a questionable call or not. Apparently he thought he could make it. If they had punted it in the end zone, they'd have been at 20. As it is now, Gridley's on a 35. They got a long way to go. But just hang on to your hat there, Jim Ragland, because the Bulldogs are going to score.
Okay, there's another prediction. It's... We've got 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. Gridley with a lot of time, but they can't waste any of it. Jensen on 1st down goes right back to pass. Sets up the screen over here to Cassidy. Cassidy needs some blocks. Doesn't get him as he gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe just a couple of yards. That was a play that went for about 27 yards and set up the first touchdown for Gridley. And they looked for it again This time Pleasant Valley had it covered a little better. The clock running. We've got 2 minutes remaining in the game now. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Gridley Bulldogs. Cassidy and Cardenas in the backfield. Jensen goes right back to pass again. Jensen throws over the middle. Incomplete. Off the shoulder pad of Jenkins, who was coming over the middle. Jensen rifled the ball, and Jenkins was thrown a little behind him, and it hit him in the shoulder pad, I think, and bounced straight up in the air. We're kind of lucky that Pleasant Valley didn't pick that off the way it was sailing up there in the air. So now it'll be 3rd down. That's that same pattern they've gone to Jenkins on almost all night. That little look in over the middle for about 10 or 12 yards. And we'll see if they go to it here. Jenkins goes to the right side. Jensen has had time to throw. He's got it again. Now he's being chased. He looks downfield, throws it deep, and it's caught by Rudd. Rudd to the 20. He's to the 10. Touchdown, Gridley. Holy Toledo. The Gridley Bulldogs score. A 64-yard pass play as Jensen completes it to Doug Rudd, and the Bulldogs are right back in it. The Bulldogs are calling a timeout, as now Bruce Eby is going to have to try to make a decision here whether to go for 1 and tie it up or go for 2 and possibly win the ball game. Of course, if they miss it, their chances of getting back down there are really slim. What do you do, Jack?
Hey, there's no decision to be made. This is the biggie. We got to go for 2. Now, if Bruce he kicks a conversion, we can tie it and go in an overtime. But I know that kid. I hunt ducks with him all year long. He's going to go for 2. He's a championship coach. He's first class. He's going to try to win this ball game.
Okay, let's see what happens. They've got Pat King out there on the field. And they're talking it over. What a play as Jensen just went for everything, threw it as far as he could, and Rudd just fought off the defender and came up with that football. He kind of juggled it and held onto it, took off for the end zone, 64 yards for the touchdown. 21-20 is the score. We've got about a minute and a half remaining in the ball game. They're sending Jensen back on there.
I don't care what happens now. I'm sitting over here on the left side of the booth. I can't see. I'm not going to look. I'm going to die.
Well, don't do that because I don't have to carry you out of here. You're too big. A minute and a half remaining in the game, and it's do or die right now. They're going for 2 points. They're going to go for 2. They've got Cassidy in the backfield all by himself, 2 wide receivers over to the far side. Jensen is the quarterback. Now he turns around, calls another timeout as he wants to talk to Coach Eby. Cardenas wasn't in the game. They only had 1 back there, and that's a good thing that Jensen saw that. He realized, I believe, they only had 10 men on the field, and he called timeout to get that other man out there.
What? Oh, there's no question. Good score. No question.
21-20 is the score.
Come on, everybody.
The crowd is on their feet.
Number 1, right here. Number 1.
Jack's doing color for us tonight and leading cheers down in the stands. Very versatile performer. Here we go now with his 2-point conversion try that could give Gridley the lead if they make it. Jensen. He's got Cardenas and Cassidy behind him. He looks, throws, complete. 2-point conversion is good, and Gridley takes the lead. 22-21. I don't believe it. What a play that was. They faked it, and making that catch over in the corner was Pat King, I believe. No, it was Rudd. It was Doug Rudd, the slot back, who made the reception in the corner of the end zone. He was so wide open, there was nobody there. All he had to do was catch the football. He does, and it's 22-21. Gridley takes the lead. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a minute.
The folks at Spurgeon Home Center and Building Supply in Gridley say go Bulldogs as Gridley's first undefeated team since 1940 goes for the section championship. Spurgeon Home Center is sponsoring the live broadcast of tonight's game, and they want to remind you of the fantastic selection of home improvement supplies and tools that they carry. Workbenches, dog houses, patio benches, barbecue tables, screen doors, birdhouses, roofing adhesives, paint, you name it. And the Spurgeon Home Center has it for your home. Spurgeon Home Center at 801 Washington Street, or call 846-2222. Now back to Jim Ragland.
Well, Pleasant Valley's expecting a squib kick. They've got their receiver up on the 20-yard line, and kicking off for Gridley is Rudy Rodriguez. A minute and a half remaining in the game. Rodriguez line drives it. It's caught by the short man, one of the linebackers. He's up to the 40, up to the 44-yard line, and that's where Pleasant Valley will take over. The Vikings don't have much time, about a minute and a half. The clock shows a minute 25 seconds remaining in the game. Gridley has taken the lead, 22-21. Great comeback by Gridley, as it looked like they were down and out after that interception, and Pleasant Valley scored that gave the Vikes the lead 21-14, but Gridley scored on a 64-yard touchdown pass and then went for two. Out of the shotgun formation, Souza, the quarterback, has time, throws it up here, incomplete. Intended for the receiver at the 50-yard line. The man who was the intended receiver is Rich DeBon, and Doug Rudd, who's the man of the hour right now, catching that big touchdown pass as he wrestled the ball away from the defender and then getting wide open on the two-point conversion try and catching that one. He has just played a great ball game. He's only a junior, 5'9", 152 pounds. 22-21. We've got a minute 10 remaining. Again, out of the shotgun formation. The snap goes back to Souza. Souza looking for some running room on the far side. He's being chased. He's knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Did he get out or not? We're waiting for a signal from the official. It's going to be third down, and he needs still about 7 yards. He only picked up 3 on that play, and it's a big third down play for Pleasant Valley. Again, out of the shotgun. The Vikings going to the shotgun offense. The snap goes to Souza. Souza is being chased. They've got him, but he gets to the sideline, goes out of bounds. It'll be fourth down. He lost a yard on the play. He's out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and we're down to just 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining in the game. 30 seconds. The Bulldogs smelling a chance at victory here, leading 22-21 with 30 seconds remaining. Pleasant Valley's got the ball. Fourth down at their own 46-yard line. You'd normally think that Gridley would have had it easy right now, but boy, anything can happen the way this game has gone tonight. Fourth down and 9. Souza takes the snap. He looks. He's being chased. He throws. It's incomplete. Batted away by the defender. It was intended for Huggins at the 45-yard line. It was incomplete, and it's now a Gridley ball. And Jack, you did it. I didn't think, boy, it didn't look very good at all there, but I'll have to say it, the Bulldogs really came back strong.
Hey, listen, pal, high school athletics at its best. This is what it's all about. This is what kids should be doing. This has been a fine ball game. All the credit in the world to Steve Dodson and his Pleasant Valley Vikings, and all the credit in the world to Bruce Ebby and his Gridley Bulldogs. This has been a beautiful football game.
First down, Jensen just falls down as Pleasant Valley will stop the clock once again. The clock is stopped with 20 seconds remaining in the game. 20 seconds. The clock is kind of deceiving. It looks like there's a minute 20, but it's really only 20 seconds left. Second down. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Gridley coming back.
20 seconds.
As the Bulldogs really just, it looked like they were out of it. It was, I forget what the situation was. I think it was 3rd and 8 or 9 or something. And Jensen just dropped back and fired it all the way downfield. Rudd wrestled the ball away from the defender, turned around and sprinted about 25 yards for the score, and then Rudd got open for the 2-point extra point try, and that was the most desperate touchdown I think I've ever seen scored, but it really paid off.
It wasn't desperate. Listen, Pleasant Valley has been covering Bobby Jenkins all night, and when anybody 2-1, 3-1's Bobby Jenkins, that makes him the most valuable player on the team, because Doug Rudd, little number 10, came through with 2 sensational catches to win this ball game.
The Vikings are, is this Gridley? Gridley has so far 170 yards in the air, 94 on the ground for 264, while Pleasant Valley has 156 on the ground and 18 in the air for 174. The Bulldogs getting it all in the air tonight, although some of their air yardage has to go on that screen pass they completed to Cassidy. Jensen just fell on it again and let the clock run a little bit, but Pleasant Valley called timeout, and we've got a third down and long play, but again the Bulldogs are going to just let the clock run out because Pleasant Valley, I believe, is out of timeouts. They may have one more left. Third down with Jensen. He's got a full house backfield. He just falls down again, and the Vikings call timeout once again. 22 to 21.
This is going to kill Coach Ebby because he is a ground man. He likes to control that ball. He likes to run the veer offense. He doesn't like to throw the football. And when he sees these statistics tonight, he's going to die because he won the game in the air. But I'm sure no matter how it goes, he'll love it because I think we're going to win it.
Well, it looks pretty good for the Bulldogs right now, as they have a lead of 22 to 21, and they've got it with a fourth down and just 15 seconds remaining. Now, whether or not they can run out the clock on this play remains to be seen. They may punt it, and if they do punt it, there's an excellent chance that the clock could run out, especially if they get some good coverage on it. Punt the ball away from where the runners are, and that clock will be running while now they're switching teams here, and it looks like they are going to punt. Little confusion going on right now. A 5-yard penalty really won't make that much difference, as they don't know who's in there. Jensen's coming back on now, and Pleasant Valley's in a timeout. We may have a delay of game penalty here, but there it goes, 5 yards, but it won't make any difference because they're not interested in a first down right now. They're interested in running out that clock. 22 to 21, Gridley leading it as they came back to score 3 touchdowns in the second half, one of them on a 64-yard touchdown pass to Doug Rudd. And they are going to punt. They've got Jensen in as the punter. He normally is not the punter. Let's see what they do here. It's to Jensen. He kicks it. It goes out of bounds, and the clock stops with 10 seconds left. So it'll be out of bounds at the 44-yard line, and Pleasant Valley will get 1, maybe 2 more plays. Well, the Bulldogs are 10 seconds away from being 10-0 and having a chance at all the marbles, the section championship. It looked like Enterprise had the edge up there. They were ahead 13-0 in the third quarter. Now we go out of the shotgun. With 10 seconds remaining, Pleasant Valley has the ball. Souza takes the snap. Souza's gone for everything. Throws it downfield. It's batted away. Intercepted by Bobby Jenkins. Jenkins comes up the near sideline, fumbles the football, but the gun sounds, ending it, and the Gridley Bulldogs have won it. 22 to 21 is the final score. What a high school football game this was. The best one I think I've ever seen in my life, and I take my hat off to both teams. The Pleasant Valley Vikings, who looked like they were down but came back. Gridley looked like they were down, they came back, and the difference, a 2-point conversion instead of an extra point try. And when you've got 2 good teams like this, that's usually about all the difference there is, that extra point. Great job by both teams. We'll be back to wrap up the whole ball game for you, but right now let's pause for this message.
The Western Auto Store in Gridley announces their grand opening. 10 big days of celebration with prizes and...
Played for high stakes. Both teams made mistakes, but both teams were really outstanding, showed what they could do in front of this big crowd, and I don't think either team can be disappointed about the game. Even though Pleasant Valley did lose, I don't think they have anything to be ashamed of because they played a whale of a game against Gridley tonight and appeared to have the Bulldogs going there for a while. Gridley came back, though, when the chips were down with that long pass.
I think that's a real sign of a championship ball club. I give all the credit in the world to Pleasant Valley. They were 5-5. A lot of their fans got down on them because they lost to Chico last week. but they rose to this occasion. Gridley was 9-0. We got a lot of pride. We're coming on. You just can't say enough. I've watched high school football all my life, and this was a fine football game. As you said, Jim, there were mistakes made by both teams, and yet when the pressure was on, these kids came through like pros. It was beautiful to watch. Neither team I don't think Pleasant Valley can feel too bad. They're going to feel bad because they lost, but they played a fine ball game.
Okay, we're going to give the mic over to Al Walsh and let him give us the statistical roundup of the ball game. I think it'll be pretty revealing and show you how this ball game was won.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Jensen was 8 for 17 and 170 yards in the air. That was really the story, that big 64-yard pass to Rudd. He had a beautiful 27-yard screenplay that set up the second Gridley touchdown. Gridley total 93 on the ground, 170 in the air for 263 yards. Pleasant Valley 156 yards on the ground, 18 in the air for 174 yards. The leading ground gainers for Gridley, Cassidy with 15 carries for 37 yards. Forrester had 4 carries for a total of 4 yards. Brad Jensen, a total of 4 carries for 2 yards. Pat King, 3 carries for 22 yards. For Pleasant Valley, the leading ground gainer with 59 yards and 15 carries was fullback Dan Wood. Rich Kemp, who came in there in the third and fourth quarter, 3 carries for 6 yards. Ron Souza, the quarterback, with 44 yards and 12 carries. Scott Hunter, the halfback, with 47 yards and 14 carries. In the scoring, Gridley took the opening kickoff, drove down to the 36-yard line where Jensen fumbled. Pleasant Valley took over from there, drove 64 yards and 15 plays with Wood going over from the 1.5. Carver adding the extra point for 7-0. That's the way it ended at halftime. Gridley came storming out in the third period. They started and drove 34 yards in 7 plays. A big play, a 27-yard screen pass from Jensen to Cassidy, and then the pass down to the 1-yard line to Rudd on a crucial third and goal situation. Jensen then moved over from 1 yard out. King added the extra point, so it was 7-7. Then Gridley came back and moved ahead 14-7. As a 58-yard drive with Jensen going over from the 1 again, the PAT by King. Souza then took the ball and broke loose on the left-hand side, went through the entire Gridley team and ran 22 yards to tie the score up at 14-14 with the PAT by Carver. Jim Evans then made an interception, moved down to the 8-yard line, where Souza went over about 3 plays later from the 1-yard line. Carver added the extra point. It was 21-14. And then it looked like it was all over for Gridley, and all of a sudden, a beautiful pass. Jensen dropped back, threw the ball to Doug Rudd. There was a scramble for the ball. Rudd came up with it. He broke away from the only Pleasant Valley defender and broke it 64 yards. And then in one of the greatest plays I've ever seen, Gridley called a couple of timeouts. Jensen, with all the poise of a veteran back there, moving out to the right. The whole play was fake to the right. Rudd sneaked over in the left-hand side of the end zone, was all alone. Jensen threw a perfect bullet, and the Gridley Bulldogs pull it out 22-21 in one of the finest high school football games we've seen.
Well, it was a real thriller, and we'll be back with you on Wednesday night and again Thursday morning on the tape delay as we bring you the section championship. It'll be Gridley against either Enterprise or Corning. The last score we had was Enterprise leading 13-0, and we'll hopefully get a final score here in just a few minutes, although their ball game started a half hour later than ours. Again, the final score, 22-21, Gridley beating the Pleasant Valley Vikings. Thanks a lot to Jack Falk for doing color for us tonight, and thanks to Al Walsh for all of his help. And we're really glad to be able to do this ball game, our first ever live broadcast on Gridley High football from Gridley, and we hope we'll be back many, many more times. And, of course, we will be at Chico State on Wednesday night, the 24th, Thanksgiving Eve, to bring you the game between the Gridley Bulldogs and the other side of the playoff, either Enterprise or Corning. We think it's Enterprise, and that game will get started at 8 o'clock. We'll be on about 7:45, and we'll also be playing the game back on tape Thanksgiving morning beginning at 9 o'clock. Jim Ragland thanking our sponsors tonight, McConnell Ford of Gridley, Western Auto of Gridley, Gridley Growers, the Old Roma Liquor Store, Spurgeon's Home Center, the King Markets in Gridley and Live Oak, and also Brown & Company and Tucker Chevrolet Buick, all those fine sponsors who are making tonight's broadcast possible. Again, the final score, Gridley in the North Section Championship game as they beat Pleasant Valley in the closing seconds by a score of 22-21. So long from Gridley.